Hello, I am Archivist Saren, and welcome to my study. And today, we are playing a different game, because reasons. Now, okay, the last long while, I don't know how long it's been. It's been a good amount of time. I've been playing Age of Mythology, and pretty much just that, on stream. I've also been very inconsistent with streaming lately. Not exactly sure why. Okay, I do know exactly why the last, like, couple weeks where I've just been gone is because Rimworld. Anytime I get into a Rimworld mood, I disappear from everything for weeks at a time. It's bad. But yeah, that is the main reason. And I've tried streaming Rimworld before, at least a couple times, and I don't think it ever went very well or for very long, which is weird, because Rimworld, outside of streaming, I'm able to play like 11-hour, marathons every day for weeks on end. Just every waking hour of weeks, I just spend staring at a Rimworld screen without any complaints. But the second I try to stream it, all of a sudden things get more difficult to upkeep. And I don't know why. But this time, hopefully, it'll go better. Because, okay, I have a few just major pitfalls when it comes to Rimworld. And one of those is that I never... I have, like, a weakness for overpowered mods that make, my unconventional play styles not only work, but very powerful. And that's a problem. Because, I like playing with a small colony. I know some people like big colonies, with like 20 plus, 30 plus, 50 plus pawns. I don't even know. People like that kind of thing. Personally, I like to be able to see what my pawns are doing. If I have more than like 4 pawns at a time, I all of a sudden don't have enough brain power, because I'm big dumb, to be able to keep track of what every pawn is doing at any given time. If a pawn is running out into the frozen wastelands of the sea ice map that I'm playing on, and they're freezing to death, I sometimes don't know that until the big hypothermia thing pops up, and then they're losing all their extremities to frostbite before I can do anything, because they're just out in the wasteland dying, and I don't have much time to react. So I like to have a few enough pawns that I can keep tabs on them whenever, at any time. If they start doing something stupid, I can see it and rectify it before they get themselves killed. Because that is ultimately what Rimworld ends up being sometimes, is babysit all of these stupid pawns simulator, because they do dumb things. But that comes with drawbacks, because if you have few pawns, then, and you don't care about your wealth escalating, then all of a sudden you have 4 pawns with maybe charge rifles if you're lucky, against an army of like 100 tribals. And that just doesn't math out. So I then need to invest into like, I'll just get these bionics mods and then equip all my pawns with architect bionics that make them uber powerful and durable, and architects, or I think it's what is it called? Artificial skin gland? How do I not remember? Synthetic skin gland, that's what it's called. I get this like every run. I don't know how I forgot the name for it, but you get the synthetic skin gland so that you get basically recon armor, but it's your skin. And, you get all this fancy stuff that makes you pretty much invincible. And then you've leveled the playing field to make it so you can fight 100 tribals against your 1 to 4 pawns. And that usually, I mean, it goes well, but it has big issues with it, because then it's all of a sudden not balanced. It's either you are way outnumbered and not well equipped, and then it's a struggle to survive, but then you end up getting technology and you get the bionics and you implant them, and then all of a sudden you are a god amongst men. And then the tribals come in, and it's all of a sudden turned into a power fantasy where you're using like your epic psycasts to kill Skip in there and kill like 5 of them at once, and then you can just one-shot a guy. You go in with your freaking architect power arm and punch someone's head off in one go, and it's like literally just an in-game year ago, you were running away from some tribal dude with a pila, and you're just like, now all of a sudden you're just a god annihilating entire swaths of enemies. It's not balanced at all. So this time I have decided to turn off all of the mods, every single one, including the 50 sex mods, all of them. They're all gone. And yeah, we're just down to brass tacks, just nothing but Rimworld and all the DLCs. And there's still a lot of overpowered stuff you can do in the DLCs themselves, which I am going to make use of. But we should probably start making the, whole thing. I'm probably gonna play on the Anomaly for multiple reasons. First of all, because Anomaly is one of the only DLCs I haven't fully explored yet. To be fair, I don't think I've fully explored any of the DLCs, but the Anomaly especially, I have not actually delved into very deeply. I have tried to numerous times, but usually I will end up getting super powerful and then getting bored by the time I start to look into the Anomaly, because that is kind of the issue with unbalanced mods, is if you get too powerful, then it gets boring. And you don't want it to be boring, because if there's no reason, if there's no expectation that you're going to be able to die at any point, then why are you playing the game? It's kind of like retail WoW, where it's like, oh, I could pull this entire dungeon and be fine. So then it's like, why are you even playing? Why do you exist if you can't die? So it turns into one of those things. But yeah, with the Anomaly, we should be able to have some good, something pushing us straight into Anomaly from the beginning, and hopefully it will go fine. We start with 3 people and a ghoul, which is going to be important because in my last run, I had a mod that made it so the Gararabidar trees, I don't know what they're actually called, I just know Gar, and that's what I think of them as, because the rest of the name I don't even care to remember. But those trees are normally rather worthless, because without mods, even to keep just like one dryad coming out of the tree, it was like, oh yes, this will take 3 hours per day of pruning. And it's like, that's like 1/5 of my pawn's entire day schedule gone just to get one dryad. And the dryads are so very wimpy in most ways. They're really good at certain things, but not everything. So with this, I am hoping the ghoul will be able to be the squishy frontline, well, not even squishy, will be able to be the frontline unit for my colony, kind of like the dryads were in my last playthrough, but this won't require any mods. This is just going to be overpowered from the get-go, and the ghouls, they don't bleed, they regenerate indefinitely. I don't even know if they can die. I think they can die, but I'm not sure about that, and I think you can resurrect them with enough Anomaly research, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I think that this will go well, though, because then we have our own little pocket gremlin to send at the enemies. The main issue with this start is look at all this freaking stuff it gives us. Like, we are starting at probably 10 million wealth, and the enemies are going to be coming for our booty right off the bat. Something I will be changing here, though. I'm not going to do too much because this is supposed to be a mostly, baseline run. But I did, what did I, there was something I wanted to do. And it was something important. Was it turn off solar flares? Because I always turn off the solar flares. I don't think I will this time, though. Oh, yeah. It was allowed age range. Because we're going to have to be... We're going to do... How does this work exactly? Is it... Yeah, okay. So there's a minimum of 4 years of difference. Anyway, I'm going to be implementing this because this, as far as I know, hopefully, does not apply to every pawn in the entire game. It only applies to the pawns that you're going to be making for your base, and having to re-roll your pawns over and over is going to be the hardest part of making this whole debacle. So by limiting the age range, we are making it so we stop getting freaking 80-year-old grandmas with 73 cataracts and major heart failure, because that's just going to have to be a reroll. With this is going to save us probably a lot of time, because then we're going to have people not 15, because 15 is before relationship age, and we want people to be able to form relationships. That's going to be very important. And 20 is the lowest we can do. If I could just have them all be 16, that would probably work well, because the younger you can have them, then the longer you have before they start developing cataracts and heart disease. So that is always a plus. So that's what we're going to go with. Don't save it. Now, storyteller. I don't know exactly what we're going to be doing with this. I think Randy, because he's kind of the meme character to go for. And do I want custom? I think I need custom. And it's going to hurt me greatly, but we're going to go for commitment mode. Mainly because every time I try to do commitment mode on my own, I can't hold myself accountable to that, and I end up still save scumming, because if you did not know, with commitment mode, it still saves about once per day, and if you Alt F4, then you can reload from that previous save, and hopefully being on stream, if things go horribly wrong, the accountability of having people watching possibly would make me not just reset every time things go wrong. But we're going to do custom because... No, not a Strive to Survive is the normal. I think I'm going to keep everything at normal, but I wanted to go and look at... Did I want to look at anything? Or should we just leave everything at normal? I think we usually turn on child raiders, because that's funny, and babies are always healthy. I don't think I need to mess with the aging rate. I usually do. I usually have mods for that, where I have the age rate be normal, but the learning rate be higher, so that they can get to their proper learning threshold, and then I put them in a growth vat for the rest of their growing up until the next thing, and then they learn more. So that's usually how it goes, but we'll just stick it with the normal aging rate. It is kind of sucky though, because I don't like seeing this is their biological age and this is their chronological age, And we'll leave, I think, everything else normal, except maybe you. I don't like this setting. Ooh, and nomadic resources, because we're going to be nomadic eventually, and I want to have resources available at good amounts. But this, as it says here, it's an extra chance on top of the regular enemy taking damage for it to just instantly die. And I don't understand why they have this exactly, because, it's normally at 100%, so I don't know exactly what that does numbers-wise, but it would seem to me that it would just mean that every enemy that's downed instantly dies, even if they don't have a reason to, which doesn't make any sense. I like sometimes, like if you punch their head off with an Architect power arm, obviously they're going to die instantly. But if they just have like 2 bullet holes, they should slowly bleed out to death. Like if you have someone you want to recruit, they shouldn't just be killing them for no reason, you know? But we do keep colonist instant kills because this works differently. This isn't an extra chance to instantly kill your colonists. This is a chance to not instantly kill your colonists. And I have had times where I had this at 0 because I didn't understand what it did, and I tried to like harvest the heart out of a random colonist that got sent in, and I didn't want them, so I was just like, organ harvesting time. And it didn't kill them, because evidently removing their heart with 0% instant kill chance meant that it revived their heart. They grew a new one just so it wouldn't have to kill the colonist, and that was insane. So you never mess with this. This one stays at 100. Everything else we can just keep on the normal difficulty because I actually want to make progress here, and if we set it to frickin' max threat scale, we would die instantly. So, Randy, please be nice to us. And then here, I think I'm gonna do the thing that I always do with this, which is... Or should I just add on to that? I think last time I just added on to it and it worked out fine. But I like to have either... Okay, only that many factions. I either take out all of the xenotype-specific tribes and replace them with the generic variants, or I add the normal variants on top of these just to, like, kind of dilute the waters a bit. Because I've never liked that they just have entire groups of a specific xenotype, because first of all, that means that Neanderthal raids are just 10 times scarier than any normal raid, and then Yidakeen are just kind of normal, Wasters are pretty normal, Pig Union's pretty normal, but Impids are just going to burn down your entire forest, and Neanderthals are just immortal. So, because of course they couldn't have the freaking genie pirates now, could they? That would just be too easy. But at least by adding these in, we have some normal enemies mixed in with the overpowered giant groups of one offensive xenotype. Kind of surprised they don't have a freaking Hussar Union. Anyway, let's get the rest of the settings going. We'll just slightly turn up population and landmarks, turn off population or pollution. And I don't know what size of map I want. I guess we'll just stick with the default. I was thinking of even lowering it because I don't like lag. And that's hopefully something... Was that Metis? Lartmech. These are some interesting names, but alright, we'll go with Lartmech. But yeah, mods none, as you can see, are right there. It is a wondrous sight. I'm pretty sure even on my previous no mods runs, I have had like a few quality of life mods. This is the first time in a long, long time that I have had literally no mods. Not a one. Now, where are we wanting to be? That is the good question. And do we want to be near a bunch of stuff for trade? Do we want grasslands? Probably not. I usually don't like grasslands. Temperate forest just seems too generic, though, doesn't it? I need somewhere with good hunting, but I also don't want too much disease, which usually ends up forcing me into temperate forest anyway. Or I guess arid shrubland, but it's hard to find trees in arid shrublands. That's why I usually don't go for it. But I mean, you know, has less water. Makes it so you have better flat lands to build in long term. But we have a ghoul we need to feed, so we need somewhere that has decent trees, lots of animal life, and good temperatures, probably, because I also don't have any mods that will be affecting me being able to keep all my guys happy. So I probably will need stuff to actually make, like, fine meals and such. Let's see. Yeah, so there is temperate forest in some places around here. But this is all grassland, sadly. It is kind of hard to tell between grassland and temperate forest. They made the colors very similar. It is unfortunate because there's actual, like, roads around here and a good number of friendly areas, so I would like to be in this region. I mean, if I was down here, let's see, year-round, they're flat, which is what I'm wanting to go for. Limestone and marble wouldn't be bad. The only issue is there's this big mountain range, so if we're trying to, like, walk to different events and quests that happen, they might spawn, like, here, which I think is close enough to spawn to a base there, and then we'd have to go, like, all the way around to get to it, and that would very much suck, or we would need a shuttle, but I kind of want to avoid using the shuttle. Let's actually steps. What are you doing, Step Pan? We're gonna reload a new world just to see if we could get somewhere a bit better. I do get a little picky about, you know, base locations. I really shouldn't, because you're going to be obliterated by 50 random raids no matter where you settle. So it usually doesn't matter that much. But there's a lot of purple places in this area with some nice road infrastructure. So that's pretty nice. No impassable mountains in this range except for here, but that's pretty inconsequential. So I suppose we'll just find one with good minerals. And can we turn on landmarks? Yes. I think, some of these also have, yeah, sunny here. So yeah, they can still have features even when they don't have landmarks, which is interesting. But yeah, there are quite a few landmarks around. I don't know, honestly, I don't think we're going to be bothering with those right now. We will probably explore those much later. Ooh, this one's sunny and marble and slate, and it's right at the crossroads of all these roads, which is kind of the perfect place to be. We're not anywhere near the trading, but along the roads it shouldn't take too long to get to them anyway. So this might just be the perfect location, because sunny will make it so our, what do you call them, solar panels are more efficient, most likely, and there'll be less rain and stuff, although that means that fires will rage out of control all the more. So that'll be great. But we'll just deal with that later. We'll have enough people to actually be able to firefight. So ideology. This is another thing that I was going to be experimenting with, is a fluid one. I have never, in my entire 2,200 hours of Rimworld, ever done a fluid ideology, which is a weird, it's a weird name for it. I don't know. I guess an ideology is different than a religion, so an ideology makes sense as to why they would make it like that, but at the same time it's a tough word to say. So I personally, if I was naming it, I would have just called it a religion. But you know, that's just me. I don't know what we're gonna start with. I've never done, as I said, I've never done fluid ideology before, so I don't know what a good starting point is. Probably one of these really simple ones that doesn't involve much, and then you specialize it later once you've gotten things under control. I don't know. Probably, I don't know, Loyalist has the least impact. You know, some of these, even if it says low impact, it has a lot of different things to it, like those. These are also pretty simple, but this one is always just like, it just unlocks symbol burning, as far as we can tell. So that's good, and we have to, oh gosh, we have a lot of this to do. We're gonna remove all those. This is always such a long system to get all of this figured out. I'm going to, it is sad, I'm going to have to not use dev mode to fix this. We're gonna set clothing to no rules. Most of these things we're gonna set to don't care or acceptable, because I like to have as much freedom as I can. Apostasy. What does that do? Oh, it's Muslimness. Okay, I see. Where you just, if you leave the religion, you must die. You know, that's great. We're gonna remove that because we're not horrible people. We can't change fungus. We can't change corpses. Of course, we're not gonna be blinding people on purpose, at least. Neutral for diversity of thought. Oh, you can actually set insect meat to love normally. And that has no downside, so yeah, we're definitely doing that. That makes it so we can actually eat insect meat, and we can eat cannibalism. Because, you know, we can set that to acceptable. I don't think we want this preferred. Yeah, because then they want human meat above other things. So we're just gonna have it be acceptable. They do not care. I wish we could do the same thing with fungus, because sometimes fungus comes up, and then it gets put in the nutrient paste dispenser, and then everyone gets super unhappy, because they're just like, yes, this nutrient paste tastes slightly fungusy. It's like, bro, you are eating paste. I don't think you should be that picky. I don't know, random on that. Don't really care about marriage name. It usually, honestly, it usually comes up with some random name for the last name anyway. I guess that not like when married, but like when the kids come out, it sometimes just randomizes the last name, and I don't know why. So it doesn't really do a whole lot. Does this have any downsides to being desired? No. It just makes them happy if you have it, so might as well. What about this? What does this really do? I don't think it... If you're just playing with the base game, I don't think this does a whole lot. Let's set it to just mild, just so people don't have mental breakdowns if this happens to come into effect, but we'll just have that there. Normal research, we could set this to like very fast, but that seems a bit cheaty compared to just accepting things. You're just like, ah, yes, people of our religion are smarter. We can research faster because we believe the right things. Like, I don't think that makes much sense, but I just wish we could make it so we don't care about corpses, because corpses come up as an issue so often. And if we have a ghoul, we're going to be running into corpses a lot. You know, we're probably going to need to keep a fridge full of corpses for the ghoul to eat. And how is it that you can have cannibalism as acceptable? You know, human meat is fine, but corpse is ugly. Like how does that compute? Because you're fine to be sitting there chomping on a corpse, but you don't want to look at it? I don't know, man. I don't know. I wish we could do this. I wish don't care was just always an option, but it isn't. We're gonna have to wait until we can reform the ideology before we do that. Everything else I think is fine. Slavery acceptable. I wish we could do this, but we cannot. So we're actually gonna need to make meals. Who does that, you know? These names, what the heck? And then you just have the abbot. Like, oh yes, our leader, the exochrome archotechnist. And then there's the abbot. Like, that is just ridiculous. Okay. No required apparel. I have set things that I always just name these because it is way easier than actually thinking up new titles for all of this. So I'm just going to go on autopilot and just have all that. Same with these. I think we're going to be going, what would fit for this? Because we can have different rituals. I normally go for, we don't have access to it. I normally go with the drum party type thing, but what is a dance party? What does that entail? Light ball. We need to get a freaking disco ball for our celebrations. I don't like the sky lanterns because I think those take wood in order to do social festival. What does that entail? Any gathering spot and a ritual spot. All right. It doesn't seem to have any other requirements. This is actually easier than a drum party because it doesn't look like we need drums even. So that's good. Because I like having one of these a season. And that will be good for things like the whole fluid thing where you need the development points. So we're gonna have 4 of these and just have them scheduled, 1 for each season, because having things on a schedule makes it so you can't just cheese it a lot. I usually call this, what do I usually call this? I usually call this inevitable return, because that I started calling it that after I would always have like what is it, transhumanist ideology, and so it kind of was just thematic that people who believed in becoming immortal with technology would understand the inevitability of death, and so I started naming the funerals that, and I just always call it that because it's easiest. As I said, I just come up with one set of names and then we just leave it at that. And I know you can cheese doing a random recruit. I don't want to do that. I kind of want to be able to just get recruits the normal way, but we will see. And we'll just name these simply as Spring Celebration. I don't know if that's how you spell celebration. I think so. But can I like copy this? I can, I think. And we're just gonna do that for the rest of these, where this is going to be summer. That's gonna be the first of that. And all of these are just gonna raise faction goodwill, because that means that the nearest faction to us will always just be happy with us. And I like that. It makes life a lot easier. And you don't need to like bribe them with 5,000 dusters to get them to be your friend. You get fall going. It's just the first of every month. Or season. And winter. Okay. No, not that. This. And nearby faction goodwill. So now everyone's just gonna be very, very happy with us once every season, if it's a good celebration, which sometimes it isn't. Oh, and we need to get rid of that. Okay. And then, and I'm sure we can change this later. I usually just set these to normal of everything. You guys can do what you want. I don't really care. And then last thing is relics, because I mean, the relic quests are kind of because there's not a lot of them, but I like to have 3 tablets, and I always have them in a specific way, such as you make the granite as written strength, because granite is the strongest of the generic, original blocks. It kind of embodies strength. And then you have marble as written beauty, which marble is kind of the original. If you want good looking walls, you make them out of marble. So there's that. And then you have a jade one that's written wealth, which jade is the original, like, if you want something super fancy and costs a lot of money, you make it out of pure jade. So those are usually the default relics that I go for, because then you get 3 of them, and they're all kind of symbolic of the things you want in the game. The only issue is I think the jade tablet might be worth a lot, but I've never really gotten as far as having all 3 of them anyway, so it doesn't really do much. So anyway, I think that's, I mean, we need to change this. Avarism is what I always call it, because once again, I'm stuck in my ways. And we're just gonna call it church, and symbol-wise, who knows? I don't think it matters that much. There's a lot of symbols in here. Let's make it, purple fire. Yes, that it matches our flag in our loyalist hand. I still don't even know what loyalist really does for us. It unlocks symbol burning. Do we need one of those? I mean, why else? What is a symbol burning? What does this do? Sacrificial flag. Okay. I don't know what this does for us exactly. But it's the only benefit we get from loyalist. We're just having this, so we're at like a baseline. It doesn't give us any restrictions, and it doesn't give us any bonuses. This is just, it's just how we be. It changed all our names. Why did it change it? Was that adding the ritual, or was that just changing my name here? Why did that reset the name of every... Okay, I guess we gotta... You see, this is why... This is why I have them memorized, is because every single time this happens, and I need to rename every single role and every single ritual over and over and over again. It better not do this every time we, like, reform the religion, because... Oh, I still have this... still have this, put in here, but let's see. This is the summer one for some reason. Don't know why that's first, but... No, this is the winter one. And this is the it is the spring one. Okay, good. And this one is then the fall one. And then at least it kept the materials of these, but it completely effed up the names, as always. And, you know, there have been times where I have, like, done that on accident and not realized it, and then gone to the game and realized, hey, why did all of the names that I painstakingly, you know, put in, why did they all reset? And I realized too late. I guess it's because if you touch this at all, it's just like, yep, all the names you put in on purpose, they're gone. But all right, yeah, we'll just go with that, I guess. And now we're here to the... It took a while. Starting up a game in Rimworld always takes a long time. So, ghouls. Now, I didn't used to know anything about ghouls, honestly. By now, I know a little bit, because I did some research. Now, first of all, one thing you need to know is that their traits still apply. And that's important, because if we can get someone that's like tough, or a jogger, or nimble, those will be probably the most useful, because they don't have any, you know, need for being happy. They just need to punch things. So most of these traits do absolutely nothing for us. But additionally, having passion for melee is also kind of important, because while it's kind of a smaller issue, because the melee will level up over time even if they don't have any passion in it, it would be nice to have a double passion in melee if we can get it. But what we're mainly looking for is tough, because I think that's the biggest benefit we're going to get out of these traits. I just want a ghoul that has tough to some degree. I do very much miss being able to just go, you know, edit with a mod, but we're doing this no mods. Hey, tough, but nothing here, and you have a sibling, which is usually a bad thing. So we'll oh, we can still change your name. I actually never noticed that. Because I haven't made characters this way in years. So I honestly didn't even notice. Also, I don't think any scars over here really matter because the regeneration should... There's tough, but once again, no melee. Let's keep going. Tough isn't that hard to find usually. I just want... Alright, well, I mean, there's one melee, and I'm pretty sure this scar will heal up because of regeneration. Because as it says there, it'll heal nearly any wound in a short time. And I think it even regenerates lost limbs. So, regeneration is kind of borked. And I think even with dumb labor, I don't think they were going to be able to do that anyway. I think they literally do nothing except beat out fires and beat the life out of enemies. And jealous doesn't apply because they don't have any mood difference, so I think you'll be fine. I'm also too lazy to keep spinning, but yeah, you'll start out with low melee skill, but you have a passion in it, so that'll grow quickly. We're gonna call you Ghoulie McGhoulson. And we'll have that just be, you know... Actually, I think you can just delete the middle name and it automatically makes the first name the middle thing. But, you know, it's fine. Apparently they're a child star. I don't know how you turned into a ghoul. But okay. Did we turn you into a ghoul? Because we have you. Did we kidnap a child star and turn them into a ghoul just because they were a bit tough? I don't know. But either way, now with these ones, I don't know exactly what we're going to be going for. You have potatoes. It's pretty nice. And you can craft and artistic, but bloodlust kind of, yeah. And you're incapable of things. I don't like when people are incapable of things. You just turn off. Why is headgear not shown at the beginning? Does anyone even start with headgear? I don't know why that would be an issue. I guess maybe some starts start with headgear, like what is it? The one with biotech? Is it biotech? No, Odyssey. The Odyssey one starts you with headgear because you're in space. So we're going to want... Oh boy, this is a lot more complicated than just trying to make them manually. So we want a character that doesn't have any notable incapabilities, no scars, and I want them to be good at different things, which normally I can set up pretty easily, but not in this case. So I'll want one character, at least, that is good at construction and mining. One character that's probably good at crafting and artistic. I will need people to do plants and animals. Maybe animals. I don't know if I'm keeping animals, but definitely plants. I will need a cooking person because we don't like the paste goop. We could probably still go for nutrient paste. We would just be a little unhappy by it. And so I'd need to put some extra work into like their bedrooms and stuff, which will increase their wealth, which means we'll get more enemies, which means Ghoulie is going to have more work to do. So, but also more food. So, I mean, there's that. It's just difficult. Yeah, and you're volatile, so no to you. You have a scar, so no to you. Night owl, not the best. Pessimist, chemical fascination. You're... Okay, how... Hang on. First of all, why are you called Four Eyes? I don't think you don't even have glasses. But additionally, why is your husband the ghoul? And why do you have a daughter when you're asexual? This character is very confusing. Apparently a ghoul is your son and you're a psychopath. That it kind of adds up, but we don't want... You know, normally I like psychopaths, but we want to actually have a good group going here. And you people have a lot of issues. Okay, nimble. That won't help us much unless you accidentally get into melee combat. You have a glorious beard. I mean, look at that thing. I mean, you're good at social, intellectual animals. But everyone should be decent enough at intellectual. I mean, intellectual is one of those things that you just do in between other things. We don't really need someone who specializes in intellectual. Oh, and that last guy was abrasive, but had good social. And it's like, how does that work? We don't want jealous. Also, why is your lover the ghoul? Like, how do you people exist? Oh boy. Alright, and we can start with these things. I don't know how good that would be for us. This just gives us pain, which is nice. Apparently it's cancerous. Does that increase our chance for cancer? Hopefully not. Slow learner, volatile. Alright, you have no main issues, and you have a fabulous mustache, but you also have no skills to speak of. I mean, I guess you could have decent crafting and mining. And good combat. I mean, that 7 shooting is not to be ignored. And you have no downsides, and you're not lovers with the ghoul, so that is always a plus. So we'll leave you as is for the moment, but we're probably going to reroll you. But for now, you're filling the role of crafting and mining. Let's see if we can't find... You know, we could also have different xenotypes. Like, if we wanted a guaranteed good crafter, then we could just go with, like, a genie. But then they're a wimp and delicate. So they die to, like, if somebody coughs in their general direction. And that's usually a bad thing. So, I think we're going to stick with baseliners for the most part. Body purist is kind of not good. That, I mean, is... Oh, but incapable of dumb labor, really? I mean, you can't clean, you can't haul, but that's like, oh, hi, Abos, how goes things? Man, just trying to make these random pawns is difficult. Most of them just have things that completely makes me not want them at all. Like, you have chemical fascination, psychically dull, incapable of violent. Yeah, that's an automatic no. Great memory is actually pretty good, because then even if they're not really good... Oh, but they're really not good at stuff. Once again, mining and crafting. Isn't that exactly... Yeah, that's exactly what you have. But great memory. How am I? I am alive, currently. And that's as good as we can hope. So we could switch you to being the mining and crafting person, because the great memory will make it so you don't forget them as fast. But fast learning might be more important. Let's... Because the great memory would only apply past 10. Trigger happy is decent. Apparently you have a great grandson at age 20. I don't know how that works exactly. Oh, but you have no shooting or melee skills at all. I need everyone to be able to do combat. And technically you could get a gun. You would just level up your shooting very, very slowly. Which would be possible. But I don't like that. And you're only... But that... We do need a plants person and a medical person. We might need to keep you. Because we need cooking, we need plants, we need medical. And you have all 3 of those in abundance. And trigger happy means that you shoot faster, which means you level up your shooting faster. Actually, yeah, that could work. Is this a space game? Partly. Have you never seen Rimworld before? It's an amazing game. So let's see. We need. Yeah, we're definitely not going for you. You're abrasive and slothful. Bro is just useless. So we careful shooter and tough, but incapable of plant work. And careful shooter is kind of a double-edged sword, honestly. It seems like something. Was that person pregnant? Just right off the bat, you just spawn in pregnant. It's new to you. Well, it will be if we can ever get into the game. I need to find a good set of characters. So normally I have a mod that makes it so I can just customize the characters, but this time we're playing completely vanilla with no mods, and that makes life difficult because now I just need to go by complete randomization. Masochist, huh? Does that cause any issues? I don't know if it does. I don't know if there's any like negative things, but you have a fiance, which is an issue. Because I want, let's see, so we have a male and a female. I want to be able to pair up some of our pawns so we can start making babies. Because normally I have very bad luck with recruiting pawns elsewhere. And you're just good at animals. Yeah, no, you're not what we need. We need somebody who's good at construction. Yeah, what are we missing here exactly? Because construction and mining, we have decent mining with you, decent crafting, but you don't have any artistic. Should I re-roll you as well? This one, I think we're keeping because the trigger happy offsets the shooting, and these two are things we need. So you're definitely, your position is safe, but these two are still up for grabs. You're only good at mining and crafting, which leaves us down on construction. And as a crafting person, you're not even good at artistic, which is kind of sucky. And you have no intellectual skills to speak of, which we're going to need intellectual as well, to some degree, just so we can research things at a decent rate. We'll do this. Gourmand, no. Brother is Ghoulie McGhoulson, no thank you. So yeah, it'll just be a lot of this for the next little bit. Good intellectual, we already have good medical, but overlap isn't on that is fine. But you don't have any plants, you don't have any construction. And while nudist is good for your mood, it won't help that much in the long run. Because then you'll get really upset. Let's see, careful shooter can be decent. Nimble can be good if enemies get in melee, but you don't have anything we need. I might just be being too picky. Undergrounder is decent. But no. Incapable of violent, no. Steadfast is good. No. Tough body modder. Body modder can be good. We are going to be getting bionics at some point. But you're kind of just covering everything we already have because you're good at cooking and plants. You're good at cooking and plants. And then just intellectual on top of that. So, no. Plus, tough won't help very much because I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be... Our plan is going to be have the ghoul in melee, but... And then these three will be in ranged. So we need everyone out here to be able to shoot. Which so far nobody can, but that's fine. Too smart can be an issue because that makes them upset. And you're not really good. You're good at construction, which is something we need, but you're not really good at anything else. And that is kind of the issue of having such young colonists, is they're going to not be that good at things. I'm mostly looking at the passions. Interesting individual this one is. They have no melee skill, but they're a brawler. And they're a nudist, even though they're supposed to be in melee combat, so they can't even have armor that much. That is an interesting combination. These characters are never going to be perfect, are they? Let's see. No construction stuff. Okay. We're going to lower our expectations more so we can actually get there. We want somebody with at least one passion in construction. Who has currently one passion in construction? You? We're not going for you because you're staggeringly ugly. So that doesn't count. We want somebody with at least one passion in construction. And is that it? And then I guess good traits and no scars and no incapables. Scar, delicate, nervous, nope. Scar, incapable of social. Creepy breathing, gourmand, greedy, no. Can you just give me some good people? Slow learner, incapable of social, no. Asexual, no. We want reproduction to be going on. Greedy, incapable of plant work. Greedy kind of sucks, though. I don't like greedy. Because then they get really upset about everything, and it's hard to keep them happy. And I'm gonna have enough difficulty keeping them happy as is. Sanguine is good, but no you have no nothing. Alright. You see why I have mods for this? Because this is just... It is so difficult to find some good help. Greedy, no. Recluse, greedy, asexual. Why do all the people with the good stats need to be such horrible people? Oh my gosh. So many things that they're unable to do. Just give me a good pawn. Creepy breathing. You know, this person would be fine if it wasn't for creepy breathing, even though their name is Fugly. Because, yeah, they have the construction, they have decent shooting, careful shooter, teetotaler, those aren't issues. Creepy breathing, though, is kind of a problem. Can't we just get somebody who doesn't, like a blank slate, who's just decent at construction and doesn't have any major issues? Is that so much to ask for? Because, yeah, you see, you get construction, but then misandrous and lazy. You go to the next construction. Oh, good at construction, they have a vasectomy, which... I think that can be reversed. Yeah, it says there, it can be surgically reversed. Oh, but volatile, that means they're gonna get into a bunch of mental breaks and issues. Nervous, no. Good construction, but can't do violent, no. Come on. That one might have been fine, but I clicked past it too fast. Ooh, okay, this is a tough one. Ooh, we might need this one. We might need to keep this one, because tough makes it so they don't die quickly, industrious means they do things quickly, and sanguine means they're always happy. They have good construction, good shooting. They just can't do a whole lot else. I mean, we could probably teach them to be good at plants or mining, and of course intellectual in their off time. So this one we're keeping. This is a good one. Because even though they have things they're incapable of, it's not necessary things, because we already have somebody else who's our main medic. So caring isn't that big of an issue, and artistic and cooking isn't an issue because you're our cook. And art is pretty niche. Okay, so you are handling animals, construction, possibly mining, intellectual, some plant help. That is good. That is very good. Now you, what we need from you is to not be staggeringly ugly. That's what we need. What do we need? I think crafting. Why is crafting not down here? It's a very important skill. But yeah, we need crafting because I don't think either of these... Yeah, so you'll be our crafting and artistic individual. Hopefully with some other skills mixed in. So we need you... Jealous, incapable of half the entire game. No. I saw a body modder and great memory, and I was like, ooh, good one right off the bat, but too many things blocking that. Tortured artist, but jealous and body purist is going to be an issue. We want bionics someday. We just watch crafting and artistic and wait for both of those to have a decent passion in them. Okay. Psychically deaf, delicate. Ugh, I mean, that's only 15% increase, right? Yeah, there is a plastic surgery mod you can use, technically, but you can't do it by default. Oh, wait, no, and you're all female. We're going to need you to be a male on top of crafting and artistic. Because if we want any sort of reproduction to happen, we need one male to go with our two females. Please be something good. Capable of plant. I mean, cooking is fine. Animals is fine. Mining is fine. You have decent shooting and great crafting and artistic. And your sister is somebody who isn't on the team, which is good. You, for some reason, you just come with human meat by default. And you do have a flesh tentacle, which isn't that big of a problem. I mean, it has better part efficiency. Honestly, that would just make you better at crafting. So, but you are a cannibal, which means you're going to be upset if you don't eat human meat, right? An annoying voice means that you're not... Oh, and you're a female as well, which means that we would need to reroll someone else. Ugh. But the double passion in both is... we have to reroll. It was looking so good for a second there. We were almost there. But the closer you look, the more issues came up with that one. But I guess that's why they were coming in with... freaking human meat in their back pocket, is because they're a cannibal. It makes some sense. I wish you could set more things, like restrictions for this. I know there was a mod that makes it so you can have it keep re-rolling until certain things. Yeah, and you're female, staggeringly ugly. No. Chemical interest, that's a no. Body purist, greedy, no. Come on, we just need a male that's good at crafting and art. That's a female. Dang it. He kind of looked like a male. Devil is indeed in the details. Don't worry, Ebos. Eventually we'll get a good one, and then I can show you what the game's about. We just, it's just taking a while. Too smart makes you have issues and you can't shoot. We want our ghouls to be in the front, not you. Okay. Slow learner kinda sucks. This one's decent, though. Kind is good. Oh, but incapable of dumb labor means you'll never be able to haul things. No. And you're female. I keep forgetting to... I should check that first. Because that's like a hard requirement at this point, is to be male. Because we kind of need them. Male, the only male in the colony, but is a misogynist. I don't think that's going to work out that well. And a wooden hand would not be good for crafting. Tortured artist can be good, especially with good art. But, oh, pyromaniac, that's a no. And it was female. I once again, should look at that first. Come on, game. Just give me some... What's this? Oh, higher work speed. Okay, that's good. Has a shooting thing, has actually good construction. Intellectual, social, is a male. Gotta check that. Yeah, that is good, actually, I think. I mean, we have no crafting, which is a problem. But they do have artistic and great memory. We could get their crafting up just by sheer determination. You know, just sit them down at a workbench for many, 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 many days and just have them build that up slowly. I don't know how well that'll work, though, but they have great memory. But that'll only work after this gets to 10. If it was fast learner, that would be better. But they're also cannibal, which means they might get unhappy if they don't eat human meat for a while. I don't want to have to redo them, but I feel like I have to, because that not having crafting is just so bad. We need a crafter. I guess we could find a crafter later, and you could just be our artist. Because, yeah, the work speed is good, the good intellectual is good, the fighting skill can end up being good eventually. Construction, we need more construction worker. Because you usually have a lot of construction work to do. And you're not incapable of plants, so you could help with that as well. That's always a big to-do. Yeah, we'll go with it. Okay. Okay, now the fun part. We get to name them. Now that we know that we actually have the characters we want. So Ebos, which one of these do you want? Do you want to be named after one of these? So you can be in the game with us? Because that could we could do that. We can't change their look until we're in the game, but then we can get a styling bench and we can change like their hair and tattoos and stuff. Don't ask me how you can change your tattoos at a styling bench, but you can. So yeah, just pick one of these three. We got cooking and plants and medical. We got art man and the only male in the group. And then we have construction, happy, good at everything person, but incapable of caring. I love that wording. The butt ugly, which one is that? I mean, there's a ghoul. They're pretty ugly. I don't know. It's kind of up to interpretation which one is ugly. This one has a tear tattoo. That means they probably killed someone. And they're a crime boss's child. That's pretty ugly. You know, personality-wise, I guess. This guy looks like he has a freaking kidney bean on his head. Is that ugly? I don't know. It's hard to tell which one that is referring to aside from the ghoul. That one's obvious. But I don't think you can be the ghoul because his name is Ghoulie McGhoulson, so that's he's kind of locked in on that. That's me, the creepy guy. The bean guy or the ghoul guy? Because I guess they could both be kind of creepy. Also, I think this guy also has a tear tattoo. Ghoulie, you're Ghoulie? Okay. Then we're gonna... We can make the Ghoulie Ebos. Where they're still going to have the name Ghoulie McGhoulson, but they're just gonna show up as Ebos as because that's their nickname. Alright, and then we're going to make these, and none of you have any... Yeah, none of you have any relations, which is good. You can be, you know, we'll name this one after Void, because that's usually how I do things. Just naming people after random people I know. Because we don't have enough people in chat to name everybody after everyone. And what should the last name be? We're just gonna have the last name be Voidson. Voidson. And then one of these should be Morg, I guess. You'd probably appreciate being the more overpowered one. Even though, you know, incapable of a bunch of things, but that's fine. And we're gonna go with this because I'm very creative, obviously. So we're just gonna always have the last name be that, just their first name with son at the end. And you, I don't know what I should call you. Cause you're our cook and our planter. We're gonna make you. I was gonna go with unknown man because he's usually around here somewhere, but it's not a man, so would they be unknown woman? But I don't think that will fit. Oh, it will actually. Unknown woman. No, that would not work at all. That's too long of a name. We'll just throw in a name from my book stuff. So we'll just have you be book character for now. We can always rename them later. I think, yeah, if you just delete that. Okay. Aromatherapist, huh? That's interesting. Hopefully their shooting isn't in the negative right now, because this reduces it by 3. Their aim is probably not going to be the best. But I can't re-roll them. I mean, look at the cooking and plants. We're never going to get food poisoning or be short on plantingness. Plus, they're our main medic. Yeah, nobody else can do medical. Okay, that's going to become an issue very quickly, I'm sure. So you might just be a mostly non-combat individual. You're just, we're still going to give you a gun, but you're probably not going to hit very much on purpose. You're probably going to hit things on accident, though. But this looks good. We got Ebos, we got Void and Morg and Paya, and all the skills that we need except mining. But that's fine. We can learn mining. Yeah, nobody likes mining. We'll find a person for mining later. It's fine. Let's just get into it. Ugh. Always such a slog getting all those characters to actually be at all efficient together. But over time, it should even out because we're going to have kids, and we're going to be recruiting people, hopefully. Okay. The ancient monolith unleashed an energy pulse that tore your research vessel apart and mutated your crew. Only a few of you made it to the escape pods. Despite the setback, your mission is far from over. If you can learn more about the monolith, perhaps you can find a way to shut it down or harness its inhuman power. Okay. We are here. Only an hour in of doing all that. So this is the game. It's top down. You have your people, and you build a colony. So we have a surprising amount of structures nearby, and we start with the monolith right here. So let's see, is there any water nearby? There is not. We do have some good fertile soil. Lucky they survive, yeah. So let's see. We have some good steel here. So let's start out, because we're going to build our base around the monolith, not only because it's in the center of the map, but also because that's kind of going to be the focus of the run, is the monolith. So let's get deconstruction going. We want to deconstruct all these walls, because they're all made out of steel, and we're going to need steel. Of course, we do start with a lot of steel. I always forget that. I'm used to starts where they start you out with literally nothing. But yeah, this starts us with 800 steel and electricity, which is a lot better than I can say for most tribal starts that I usually go for. So we're actually, we start out like halfway through the game already. We're doing well. So yeah, we'll just deconstruct all of this to get it out of the way then. So we're still going to deconstruct it. We also, yeah, we just need to deconstruct it all, don't we? These are limestone. Those have good defensive qualities. All of this is also limestone. So we'll deconstruct all of this as well. That's going to leave us with some random miscellaneous items. We also want to remove the floor here, and up here. Eventually, we're going to go and deconstruct the floors everywhere, because floors add to your wealth, even if they're not in your base. So we're just going to set all of this to be defloored eventually. But I'm going to force my guys to focus closer to base to start out. Oh my gosh, that's a big building. Did this map have like a certain... I don't know if that actually has any value. I don't think it does. But we'll have them remove it anyway. We have a lot of people to work with, so we can put in the man hours. Okay. So once they do all that, we also need to get everyone set up with weaponry. Let's see, what weapons do we start with? We start with a knife. I don't think can ghouls wield stuff? No, they cannot. You need to go eat... Is this shotgun the only weapon we start with? I think it is. Who's our best shooter? Morg is. Okay, Morg is going to get the shotgun. Who's our best melee out of you two? Definitely you, sadly. Yeah, so you're going to grab the knife here. And we're going to send out to eat something. Oh, we have even more steel here. Good. So where is food? Rat. Go kill the rat. Good job, Ebos. Rip and tear. Oh, wait, there's a rat right here. Go, Ebos. So we need a few things. We need a dumping stockpile nearby-ish for corpses. Because I don't want a bunch of corpses making my guys unhappy because we couldn't make them, you know, be fine with corpses. So we're going to put corpses over here. Why items? What items are you saying? Toxic waste packs. No. We don't want toxic waste packs that close to the base. So only rotting corpses get put over here. That's these three. So you are doing construction. You can't really do anything as of now. Except plants. We're going to have you doing plants. But you can haul for the first little bit. You can haul. Okay. We also need to set up our manual priorities. Everyone firefight. Everyone patient. You definitely do doctor. Nobody bed rest until you get sick. Definitely everyone wants to be in child. You can't childcare? Apparently you... Oh, because you can't do caring, then includes child caring. That is unfortunate. Set basic to 4 because I usually tell them to do that manually. You are definitely going to do cooking and planting. You are going to do, I guess, hunting? It's not very important, though. Mainly constructing, mining. Is that it? Is that all you're good at? Why do we have you? It's really just the constructing and the mining, isn't it? Yeah. Well, you're good at combat. So that's always good, right? And you were going to help with plants in your off time. So we'll set those to 2, and then hauling and cleaning be 2. And research be 3 on everyone, which... Yeah, we only want our main research doing dark study, I think. Turn off fishing for now, because we don't even have any water nearby. And then you are our crafting person, even though you're bad at crafting, but we'll make you do it anyway. Okay, and you do have decent construction, so we'll also set you to construct first. Okay. Everything's fine. Everything's gonna be hunky-dory. We need to set up some planting as well. That should be the first thing we do, pretty much, because we need food. Even though Ebos only eats meat. We'll just make, I don't know, this whole place here be rice. I don't know how much food we really need, because I usually don't start with this many people, but... Go get them, Ebos. But yeah, you start out with not too much melee skill, but the melee skill does go up pretty quick. Like you'll get them. Okay. Now you're helping with that, and you are going up here to get that. Man, you are having a surprising amount of trouble with the rat. Okay, thank you, Evos. Consume the rat. So yeah, you are a ghoul, so you don't bleed, and you regenerate from pretty much anything. So that is good. And now you've eaten. That makes you happy. So now you just kind of sit around to do nothing until later. That's your whole job. You kill things and you eat things. Now, where do we want our base to be? While they're breaking down all this stuff, we can start outlining the base. I want a little room around the monolith. So we can just have this inside of our base. Just give it a little bit, you know, a 3-block radius there. So we're going to enclose this. And you're just getting that stuff. And then we need, let's see. Yeah, so that's only the circumference. Let's start this from like, how do we want to do this? We need a good big room. And to do that, how is your healing coming? Surprisingly well. You actually got rid of the scar first. That's really nice. I'm always bad at base planning. It takes me a long time to get these down. I want to make one big barracks. I usually go for individual bedrooms, but not this time. Can you just keep working? So one big barracks. If we want a big... Did I not deconstruct? Not Z. You. Okay. So big barracks needs to be at least 130 in interior size, if not bigger. So we can make it like this big. Maybe a bit bigger. Because this would be like the room for everything. And then... maybe just that big? No, but then it would be uneven. Yeah, we can make it like that big. Meaning that then... which actually we can... make it the size of the walls, and then get rid of the interior. There we go. So that would be the bedroom barracks type area that also had to have all of our recreation and dining capabilities in one room. And then off to the side of that, we would want our food to be nearby. So we would need to have... it's like a ballroom. Yeah, except it's... I mean, we're all going to be sleeping in the same room, so... it's not going to be as fancy as it looks like now with all that free space. It's going to be quite packed with a bunch of beds and tables and all sorts of stuff. But it's going to make our people happy eventually. They're going to learn to appreciate it. And so we're going to say off to the right here, we don't need the full area for a storage. So we can say that our storage will be maybe a 10 by 10, which would end up being a 12 by 12 because you need one each for the walls. Maybe a bit more than a 10 by 10. Let's do... let's see, that'd be 12 by 12. That's probably better. Maybe? We need it to have one spot directly in the middle, which means it needs to be an uneven number, right? So that would be 15 by 15. There we go. That gives us a space in the middle of 13 by 13, giving us a spot directly in the center to have our orbital beacon. I don't know. Usually I make a big circular room for it because that's the space for the beacon, but I don't think you actually need that much storage space if you use shelves, and we hopefully won't be hoarding that many materials, and if we are, we can afford to extend the room later. And then we want like a shop room, not like a shop as in a store, but like a crafting room. So the top there would then be 13 across, so that'd be 5. It's probably fine. We'll make that the shop. Usually I try to like count it out, kind of like on the sides here. You have 3 and then 1 and then 3, so you have enough space for like a doorway. And then you can have a 3 and a 3 on either side, because most crafting buildings are 3 long. But we'll figure that out later. We'll just make that be the approximate size. So there's our crafting room. Over on this side, because this will be our dining room in here, we need our freezer. So that needs double thick walls. And then we can have this be like the doorway. We don't need the freezer to be very big, but we probably want it decently big, because we're going to need to be keeping corpses in there for the ghoul. So maybe like this size approximately. That would be good. And then remove plans for... What side should the freezers be on? I guess over here would be fine. We can probably enclose those in. Okay, that is to start out with the basic outline. I don't think we really need much more, because this is gonna have... Oh wait, we need a research room. That's what we need. That's what we need. That, I think that's the last room we need though. So the research rooms are pretty easy, because you just need a 5x2, which would be about that, going up to here. And then new multi-analyzer. So the room itself would be about like this. Yes, because then you would enter... Well, actually, we wouldn't want to enter through here, because that would take up space in here. So now we're going to turn this room. So we got the 5 and the 2 and the 5, and then wall around it, and get rid of the interior stuff, and then make a doorway. Okay. Perfect. Kind of. No, we want the doorway to be on this side, because then we can have 2 beds on this side, and then it doesn't block one of them. Good. So that will be our research room. This will be our main room. This will be our storage room. We have a lot of rooms going on. And we want our base construction to be made out of marble for the most part, except exterior walls maybe that could be made out of slate. I don't know yet. We'll default for now to just making everything out of marble, which means we'll need stone cutters. But we have a lot of steel. We could start out just... I mean, we have a lot of steel. We could start out with the first buildings just being made out of steel and revamp them later. That's probably what we're going to do. Or wood. Yeah, no, let's go with wood. It's cheapest. Because steel, we're going to need the steel later. So we're starting out with just this room to begin with. I know we planned out like 50 different rooms so far, but this is all we need to begin. But there's a lot of things in the way. So you know what? We have something to deal with that. Ebos. Ebos, go destroy. Rip and tear. Okay, and we want to chop wood in all this area. Just anywhere around here. Get us the wood. You know, you don't do much damage, do you, Ebos? That's fine. You'll get there. You know, you just gotta keep following your dreams. What happened between these two already? Yeah, okay. So Void and Morg already tried to start a romance and he already got rejected. That's great. I'm hoping our characters will get along, because sometimes they just don't. I didn't add doors. Okay, well, over here, the door was going to be here anyway. No, it was going to be here? I think here. So yeah, that is going to be a door. Then we also want maybe just a door at the very top and eventually the very bottom once this is out of the way. And I guess we can put a door over here. Keep that symmetrical. Because we like symmetry around here, probably, right? Alright, good job. You destroyed a thing. Go destroy this. I think this, you can, yeah, you can deconstruct that. Man, I am like way out of my element in just classic normal Rimworld. Oh, and you healed up already. Wow. This takes so long to break down. I literally just send you to go punch a car to death. That's normal. Okay, and then we want a door here, wall here, because that's in line with that. This then we'll need to do, and we want, for now we're making this the storage. Did you finish up here already? No. Why are you not up there? Where are you? Oh, you're going for a walk. Okay, of course you are. Oh, we don't have pick up and haul or run and gun or any of the, you know, quality of life mods that we come to rely on. But, you know, that's fine. Man, you're already getting hungry again. You ate an entire squirrel and you're, you know... Or no, you ate a rat. Luckily, we're in a temperate forest, so after you're done destroying this, we can just send you to go hunt again. Alright, go kill the rat. Wow, you're getting your butt handed to you right now. Okay, there you go. Yeah, you did do some damage to it, but it looked like you were just getting obliterated by that thing. Alright. Yeah, you need to deconstruct that. Thank you. Build a wall there. We want to get this enclosed before nightfall. Who knows if we'll actually manage that. We did it. Okay, good. That's actually amazing for us. And then we need beds for each of you. Might as well just make these doubles because I'm going to be making them doubles eventually anyway. So, bed areas for you. Alright, you can just heal up. You just ate a rat, so you're happy and full. And these guys have a bunch of meals, so they don't need to worry about food just yet until the rice has come in. You guys aren't very good at plants, are you? No. But yeah, you're getting plant XP. Very slowly. Okay. Now it's... we'll be good in the long run, you know? That's... It'll be fine. I'm certain. Do you need a sleeping spot? I don't know. I don't know how ghouls work. Alright, and there's some unroofed areas, but this shouldn't count as outside. Observed rotting corpse. Yeah, that happens. We still have one over here. You are very slow at plants. Alright, then. Plays like a D&D game? Kinda. Yeah, they do definitely have a lot of skills involved. And your proficiency at those is very important. Why did I have to scatter so much random debris around? I don't even think these really give anything for breaking them. But if you don't need to sleep, I guess just go and attack this car. They're obviously not going to mind the noise of a ghoul ripping apart a car on the other side of the room, right? is kind of interesting that you don't need sleep or anything. You just need food. So we're gonna be running you ragged day and night. Absolutely just sending you this way and that. Doing everything. Because while these guys need their sleep, they're wimpy humans. You have no such a need for their, you know, their weak sensibilities. Alright, next we're gonna need things like tables. Gonna make our... You know what? We have enough wood. Kinda. Let's just make our... Oh, but everything is uneven. That's fine. We'll just make things a little off-center. Save room for other things. Alright, and then there's 3 of us, so we'll have 3 chairs to start out with on that. Oh, you're just going back to sleep with all this noise. Can you imagine? There's just a roaring ghoul in the room smacking a car, and you're just like, time to sleep. I don't think I could do it. You're not even on a bed. You're just on a little sleeping spot. I also just now realized that I could have made you actual beds because we have wood and we're not tribals. But, you know, hindsight and all that. We also want to make a dumping stockpile. I don't know where we want it. I mean, I guess in the monolith room wouldn't really hurt anything. So, oh, wait, no. We don't have any mods. So we need a big dumping stockpile, not a small one. Because I used to have a mod that made it so that all of these things can stack really high, like to 25 each one of these. And that made it so you only need a small dumping stockpile. But instead, we're going to need... Excuse you. We're going to need a bigger dumping stockpile. But you are not for corpses, you're just for chonks. And important. And then we can set all of these to be hauled out of here. Get all of that out of our house. Okay. And then people should just do that over time. This is going to be the city center. Yeah, this will be pretty much the whole city for now. I'm going to try to make the base relatively small to keep our wealth down. You know, it's going to be small, but extravagant, hopefully. How goes that car? Well, okay. That's good. Because, yeah, the higher your wealth gets, which we're starting out at pretty high wealth comparatively, but the higher your wealth goes, the more enemies the AI will send at you. And we don't want that, so... Okay, now everyone's just chopping trees. I mean, that's fine. We need a lot of wood. How are you doing on food? Not the greatest. We'll need to have you kill something. Oh, why are they eating our meat? Can somebody, like, do hauling for 2 seconds? We need the meat. Well, I mean, it's gonna go bad at some point anyway, but... Did you get... Bro literally has tried to romance both of the people in the group and has failed both times. Why did we get a freaking... I don't even know. A freaking Reddit mod character that can't romance anyone. Like, what the heck? There are mods for needing to use the bathroom in the game, but they do not need to do that by default. So... Luckily, we won't have to worry about that at all. We may also want to floor this entire area. How much wood do we have? A lot. Okay. Because, yeah, this will also probably be where we cook and butcher, so we need it to be clean. And we're also going to want to make this room. just because we need it for researching. And inside of there, we're gonna make research tables. Why can't I put you there? Marble chunk. Oh, of course. Yeah, so things don't really fit in here evenly just yet because they're not the right type of research bench, but they will be eventually. We'll get there scientifically. But for now, that's all not important. So, ooh, we also need electricity. Should we set up electricity, like, immediately? We have components, right? Where are the components? I could have sworn it started us with some. Ah, there, next to the monolith. Okay, so we have plenty of components. They have a singularity in their body. That is true. That it is a bit weird, because they do have to eat. So this is going to be that. We're going to need a meal source. Getting this all set up initially is really difficult. Because, as I said, I usually go for things like a... Do we have solar panel? No. Might as well start getting that as our first thing. But, I usually start out as tribal, so starting out with, like, 1,000,000 steel, a bunch of components, a bunch of research, easy research, and 3 people, all with clothing and a weapon. It really feels like it dumps you halfway through the game right from the start, and it can be a little overwhelming for a tribal player such as me. You go and attack a crow. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. Okay. Ebos, you have angered the coalition, as it were. It's a coalition of crows, and they are now all angry. And they hopefully will just attack you. I don't think they will, though. So you guys get inside. Maybe you attack that? You have a knife. Okay, you did it. Good. Oh, you actually beat them. Good. Was that all the angry crows? Alright, good. Well, minimal issues. Void got a little scratched up, but that's probably fine. You're gonna go sit down. Somebody's gonna tend to you. We need to put down some floors so we don't have a very dirty house all the time. Just wood floors is fine. We have enough people to be able to fight off fires. And now you can eat. Congratulations. Okay, what tending to get? 100% right, because you're actually good at things and stuff. Alright, and we want to actually make some beds pretty soon here. We got the table. So the war crime of eating without a table has been stopped, but sleeping without a bed is still kind of a problem for us. Actually, you need to continue working on your cars now that you're fed. Get out of here. Okay. So we have enough steel and wood to make these, hopefully, and the whole room around them. Hopefully this goes well. As I said, way out of my element. Success, you beat the enemy, that's true. I mean, you 2v1'd some crows, which is kind of impressive. Can you guys, like, move the meals inside the base so every random animal stops taking them? Can you take more than 1 stack at a time, please? I know that you're, like, a dumb base game person that doesn't have pick up and haul, but even so, you should be able to pick up more than 1 stack of items at a time. Man, some of those quality of life mods are just absolutely necessary. You don't even realize how difficult life is without it until you're stuck without it. It is painful. So yeah, hopefully Void will be able to get some booches. Because otherwise, we're not going to be having any sort of reproduction happening. And then we're going to need to just recruit everyone. And I have had a very bad track record of managing to recruit people recently. Oh, good. Okay. Keep attacking things. Yeah, and I'm taking way longer than would be preferable to get our entire base set up. I know most people are able to do it in like 1/5 of the time, but I am not most people. Alright, so you've set up all the rice. What else are you good at? The cooking. So we need to set up a cooking spot for you, which we have enough steel for that. So electric stove probably, because we're also going to need power. But we should have enough meals. Oh yeah, kitchen has a work speed debuff. But that's fine. Oh yeah, and I guess you're now just on to hauling if there's nothing else for you to do. So that's good. Ah, there's a wolf in here. You go eat the last crow. And there goes Void, failing at romance again. Bro, he is literally going to break all, like, burn every bridge. Because they just don't have good opinion of him, but he keeps trying to do romances before actually having them like him. Which is a big problem. Why do you have to be so bad at romance? Come on, man. Just make good relationships. Stop making everyone hate you. I don't even have a... What is it? It's the... Not steel. Make these out of wood. We still have wood, right? But I don't have the mod for the sidecast, so I can't even do like word of love or anything to get this guy to be good at romance. He's just forever going to be bad at it. And all of these need to go. You need to patch up this hole here so we can actually use this room effectively. You know, they'll get around to it, I guess. Okay, how are you doing on food? You're doing fine. You know, you just kind of stand around a lot. Good being the lazy ghoul. Yeah. Yeah, poor Void. He gets to be the freaking Reddit mod. Maybe try the ghoul. Honestly, I think the ghoul would have a lot more luck in relationships than Void is having right now. He just needs to wait until they're actually like until they actually like him. 20% chance on that. Also, since when did this become incompatible orientation? Were you always incompatible orientation? I don't even know how you would check that. I know how you do with mods, but I don't have mods. So I don't know. Unless did you turn gay? Because you got rejected by women so much? Is that what happened? Oh, it says right there. That's weird. Unless I was accidentally hovering over this, but I don't think so. That's weird. But alright. We're just gonna ignore that. It's probably fine. Nothing with this Reddit stuff. I mean, it's just like the meme of like Discord mods and stuff where it's just the average person that can't ever get a girlfriend and you know that kind of thing. Okay, get rid of all those. Probably haul that. this area, I think, needs to be even bigger, honestly. I'm making it in this kind of shape because hopefully if enemies come, we'll be able to hide behind these and shoot out at them. I don't know how well that'll work, but we'll do our best. All of that in. Also, you guys are wielding a bunch of stuff on your backs, which I don't think we need right now. I mean, maybe, but who knows? I do need to assign this stuff. I forgot to do this, so... Drugs, none. We don't do that kind of thing around here. And anything. But we're going to turn off utility. And we're going to say nothing tattered. And nothing tainted. Okay. I think that's all we have to do with that. I just didn't want them wearing a bunch of utility items around that I didn't tell them to wear. Because usually, if I want them to wear like a shield belt or something, I'll just force it, you know, have them force wear it. Okay, but we need electricity. I think I'm going to wait on electricity until we do research, and then I'll be able to get solar panels, and we already have batteries. So that's a plus. Alright, but I think you've single-handedly destroyed all the cars that were blocking our area here, which is quite good for us. You need to eat again. You think you could 1v1 a wolf? I mean, you had a hard enough time 1v1ing a rat earlier. I don't think we should push our luck. So... at least not until you get higher combat skill. So let's send you after, I don't know, a raccoon. That seems like a worthy opponent for your skill level. Go kill the raccoon. But yeah, I've been, like, I've looked at Reddit things before, but I've never really been on Reddit. I don't think I've ever had a Reddit account. Alright, how's your combat going? Very good, you win. Consume the raccoon. He just ate it whole, okay. I mean, I guess that's kind of what I expected, but still, it's crazy. Alright, Void, you need to, be better at romance. I mean, 11%, that's not bad. He'll probably get it at some point. I don't think the rebuffing will hopefully not, completely reduce their opinion of each other forever. Ooh, we also need a... do we have enough wood left over? Do we have any wood left over? Where's all our wood? And then, did we use all of it? We had so much. We had like 1,000 wood. But yeah, I'm not seeing a single scrap of it, and it doesn't show any in here. So, we need to chop a little bit more wood. Not too much, because then it's just extra value that we don't need. But just enough wood. So we have a nice little stockpile. And then I will want a butcher table. Probably on the opposite side of the room from this for now. We can move them later. Yeah, they don't get girls. They don't. No. But Ebos the Ghoul, you know, you can tell. All the ghoul ladies love Ebos. He's very popular. Alright, you're gonna get rid of all the barbed wire. That's good. And eventually they're gonna get rid of all this flooring around. Which will be nice, because that'll reduce our wealth a bit. Because our wealth is pretty high for having just started the game. Is there anything we can have Ebos be doing in the meantime? I wish you could haul things, but you're kind of just... You kind of just know violence, and that's it. Should also get rid of this, because this is encroaching on our farming area, but that's fine. How's your food? Your food is fine. And all that fighting is increasing your melee skill. Oh, monolith, yeah. Wave of dread passes over your colonists. The fallen monolith has begun to stir slowly. It begins to twist and rearrange itself, morphing into something new. Within a matter of days, the process will be complete. Be prepared for whatever comes next. Yeah. So, the monolith essentially is activating on its own. Usually, you have to send a colonist to interact with it, and that will activate it. But because we're on the anomaly start, can the ghoul explore? I mean, there's not really anything to explore, because the world is pretty much open. This is all we can see. Why are you guys just sitting at the edge of the world? Oh, there's something we need to do that I didn't do, because it still has the auto home area turned on. We do not need. So, yeah, let's actually just... We're going to be not finishing the rest of these buildings for a while. So we don't need all of this to be home area. Because the people, once they're done doing all of their important tasks, will start trying to clean everything in the home area. And with it just throwing the home area willy-nilly all over the place, they'll end up cleaning a bunch of dirt. And that's just a big waste of time, so... Okay, but we still want the crops in the home area because they'll extinguish fires in the home area, so... There's that. But good, we've almost got this place cleaned up, and Paya's doing hauling and plant cutting, so that is doing well for us. Then they'll go down here and continue deconstructing. That's good. And then we'll get rid of all the flooring around the map. So it'll be a little while before we actually start doing things that we should be doing. But it's fine. Ebos is still fine. At least we have 2 people on construction. And they're leveling up decently nicely as well. You know, I can't help but think that we still started with, like, really crappy pawns, even though we spent, like, an hour exchanging them to try to get good ones. So the different starts start with different numbers of people. So there's what I usually do, which is, naked brutality, where you basically start with 1 pawn, no clothing, no weapons, no materials, just nothing. And you need to basically go and like live off of berry bushes and cut down some trees to make a hovel. You know, it's a good time. This starts you with 3 people with a bunch of resources and a ghoul, which is pretty nice. You need to feed again. Let's see if we can't find you a bunny rabbit or something around here. Honey badger should work fine. I'm sure you can beat a honey badger, right? We'll see if you die. Badger revenge. Oh no. But it's only orange, so that's fine. But all this is increasing your melee skill, which is very important. Okay, you did it. Hooray. That was actually a semi-close one. Taking some serious damage there. But yeah, so some starts start you with 2, some starts start you with 1, some with 4, as you know. Some with 3, you know, there's a whole, you know, what would you call it? There's a spectrum of different starts that you can start with. Move that floor. Alright, and this will become slightly bigger when it transforms, which should still be inside of our thing there. Alright, and our little wall of junk is coming along nicely. So once a raid comes in, which should be pretty soon here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have Morg shoot them while Ebos goes up and beats them in the face. You know? So you're gonna be doing some fisticuffs, and Morg is gonna be getting the freaking shotgun, and it's gonna work out fine, I'm sure. Honestly, I think, as of right now, I think Ebos could just 1v1 any enemy that comes along. I doubt we're gonna have much issue with that. I usually try to avoid using traps. You can just put down traps and avoid most of the game. But I usually don't do that. I used to, but not anymore. We can do butcher forever. Butcher everything, because we need the schmeat. We could even set up a... It's weird that we can just set up one of these fridges pretty much immediately. It's weird that we have electricity pretty much immediately. It's bizarre. Yeah, we'll have our electricity kind of out in this area, maybe, because we're not really doing anything with this right now. How many could we fit? I think a single... That was here. A single solar panel is a 4x4, if I remember correctly. So that would not fit here. It would fit over here. Okay, we could probably have like 3 over here. We'd have one like there, and then 2 like here, and then a path in between. But yeah, we couldn't fit another one in there without cutting into the space that this has, unless we wanted to. We could cut this down by a little bit, because you don't really need that much freezer space. You don't want to hoard that much food usually. So if we were to pull this back a little bit, then we could have this copy and do like that. So we could have 4 of those and then put a wall around it. That's probably the plan. Because yeah, if we can have a nice wall around there, that'll be good. And then this will be forever outside but enclosed, so that would be also good. So we'll set this as, make sure there's no roof over it, because those will be solar panels later. And we need walls around this, but we're gonna have freezer things in here as well, so leave some holes open for freezers in there. Probably 3 will do. Like that. And we should... I keep forgetting to put doors on things. There we go. That should be good. If we have enough wood for that, which we should. Unless you keep breaking all of our wood void. Oh my gosh, look at his relationship with everybody. Oh, Morg tried to... Wait a minute. So he got rebuffed twice, meaning he tried to start a relationship and got rejected 2 times in a row. But also she tried to romance him, and he rejected her. How does that work? Like, if you're both trying to romance each other one after the other, you'd think you would just let that happen. But no. Bro was just too stubborn. He didn't want to let that happen. How are you doing on food? Not the best. We need to... You think that wolf will share its rabbit? Hey wolf, you gonna eat all that? No? Okay, good. How even? Yeah, our guy is having more singleness than has ever been reported by any human ever since the dawn of time. Our man is the most single ever. I don't know how he is doing it, but it is unprecedented. Are there any other small critters? There's a bird. Eat the bird. That is moving around way too much. Okay, you're losing against the bird. There we go. You really need to get your melee skill up. But alright, you're well fed again. No, copy. Get rid of that. Alright, and they're getting rid of all these. Okay, now we can name things, which these names don't really come up that often, so we're just gonna name it after the religion, and then this, the settlement name. I don't know. I'm so bad at naming settlements. Does it even really matter? Probably not. We'll just call it Anomaly Land. There we go. %21 chance. What about you? 13 on both. I'm gonna risk it. I mean, it's a 22% chance. That's a 1 in 5. Dang it. Every time. But yeah, they keep trying it automatically as well, which is just pushing them further and further apart. I don't know how to make people like each other. If only that 20-something% chance had worked, that would have been great. But we'll see. We'll just wait on it. Oh, we also need a ritual spot. In here. Do we need anything else for that ritual? I don't think so. Because they're just social gatherings, so... Which actually, we could have done it here. So we don't need a ritual spot. We just started at the table. Okay, good. Good to know. Alright, and all the floors are getting removed the world over. So that's very nice for us. Our rice is almost grown, so our food is almost good, but we still haven't done any research, so... Oh, we have some silver here. That's nice. Do we have any of the important metals in the walls, like plasteel? Nope, no compacted plasteel. What about uranium? There is uranium ore. Oh, it's pretty nearby. That's good. How about gold? We'll need a gold for a multi-analyzer. Nope. Alright. Unfortunate. Not that we have anyone good at mining anyway, so... Go consume the badger meat. Good. And badgers are big. And all our beds are good. You're still not having good chances with anyone. You'll get there eventually, don't you worry. Maybe. We can hope. We can really hope. Let's speed up through the night. This monolith is still doing its fancy stuff. We haven't gotten our first raid yet, which is kind of odd. Could have sworn you usually get a raid by this point, but I guess we have Randy Random as our guy, so you never really know what he's gonna be doing. Though I thought he did the starting events always pretty consistently, but I'm not certain on that one. All right. This we can expand more because we have more of these. Alright. You're getting hungry again. Are you going to automatically go eat? Or do I have to do it manually every time? I honestly don't know. Honestly, they're making good time on getting rid of all the floors. It's pretty nice. Might need to expand this a bit further. Alright, and our first harvest is coming in. Perfect. Haul all of that. Because, yeah, we have meat in here. So once you get hungry enough, are you gonna go and eat? Because the issue with ghouls is if they get hungry enough, then they will rebel against the colony and then try to eat the colonists. So you kind of want to keep them happy. And they're destroying all this. I don't even know if this flagstone counts for any wealth because you don't get anything back from it, but I don't care. We're getting rid of it either way, just in case. Because I'm not dealing with all those flooring adding extra wealth shenanigans. As you can see from this chart already, our building wealth has actually decreased significantly in the last while. Because, yeah, we started with 8,000. It went up as we built our house up to about 10,000. And now it is steadily lowered down to about 8,000 again because we've gotten rid of enough flooring. Because it's a bit of a quirk with the game that flooring can't be it can't be claimed by anyone. And so normally buildings that aren't claimed don't count towards your wealth, but flooring, because it cannot be claimed, because it can't be like directly selected as I'm trying to select it here. So since it can't be selected, it can't be claimed, which essentially means it's always claimed. So all the flooring that starts out on the map will count towards your wealth, and it's BS. So that's why we're getting rid of all of it. And they're doing a good job of it. And after that's all done, we should have much lower wealth, although it is slightly increasing our item wealth, because then we're picking up all these stone blocks, but we can at least reuse these for things. Whereas a bunch of random flooring halfway across the map doesn't really help us at all. It just makes waves more difficult, and we can't be dealing with that. How's our food situation? Not great. Oh, but you ate. You ate the rest of the meat. I don't think ghouls can eat meals. That's why we've just been having them eat random animals. How's your social life doing? Yeah, you're getting back into the better graces of the two colonists. It's always a plus. And is this room... It's awful. What's awful about it? It's dirty because nobody's assigned to cleaning right now. We'll have you very much assigned to cleaning. And we need to increase our home area to encompass this. Good. Why'd no one bring in all the rice? It's probably fine. Ghoul food needs to be super fresh. It's true. If it's not practically still moving, then Ebos don't want none of it. Is there anything we can have Ebos be doing? I don't know. His skill set's a little limited. What we can do, actually, yeah. We can have him go and attack these. Because these will drop little metal fragments, and we usually want to destroy them eventually. And that's just some long-term goal you can work on between eating. Because otherwise you just kind of stand around doing nothing, so... Okay, you're replanting everything. That's good. And you could use some extra food. Where's an easy target? Guess we have to look on here. Echinoid signal. Oh, it's just that. We don't care about that. Alright. Kill the rabbit. Fulfill your destiny. And eat it. Good. Alright. Back to work. Where are you guys at? Over here, okay. And how's our wealth doing? Oh, our wealth is plummeting. Good. Yeah, that is amazing. You see how big of a difference that makes? It took out like 4,000 wealth so far, and we're not even done yet. We still have the rest of all of this to clean up. That's about it. I think we're almost end up here. We're almost done with the floors, which is nice. You know, hauling all these blocks is nice and all, but could you haul the rice? I mean, it's just kind of deteriorating outdoors, and the animals are gonna get to it if you don't, you know, clean that up. Alright, you do you. Yeah, once again, I don't know if these are actually, if the concrete is worth anything, but destroy it anyways. It's really weird to just have a ghoul. I'm gonna want more ghouls later on, probably. We'll need the ghoul research, and I don't know how that works exactly. I've never made ghouls myself, but we'll try it and see how that goes. And then once we get stone cutting going, then we'll start replacing the whole base with stone materials so we don't have to worry too much about fires. But with 3 of us, all of which can fight fires, I doubt it's going to be a big issue. What's inside here? Get rid of that. Ah, more flooring. You can't hide from me. That's a lot of floors. Okay. Oh, now you're gonna be hauling all the steel. How about rice? You wanna haul rice? You know, no, you're hauling a rock again. Okay. How are you doing? Okay, you broke that, and you need food. There was a rat around here. Am I able to see rat? Rat. See how much easier you're killing things now? It's all that melee training. You're starting to get strange. Oh, now you're up here. Okay. That's fine. We're gonna have a lot of blocks to sort through. But I'd rather have blocks than the floors. It'll be nice once people haul all the stuff in and then can start researching. This is taking so long, okay. I mean, I guess I told a ghoul, like a literal corpse, to punch a mechanoid device until it breaks. Like, it's not so easy to tear those things apart by hand. It's not even like I give you a tool or anything. But, you know, it's keeping you busy, so that's what's important. Flash storm, huh? It's probably fine. It's far enough away. So we're probably gonna be alright. Just hope Ebos doesn't get struck by lightning, because, you know, I don't think ghouls and fire mixes very well. Alright. Oh, that's a lot of fire. Okay. Well, it's one of those situations where you just need to hope that it rains. Because we can't really beat out fires that big. Why there's all this steel right here? I don't know, but I'll take it. Alright, I think that was the last of the flooring. Ancient danger, that's fine. I knew that was there. You know, maybe we could destroy the ancient danger pretty soon. I mean, we have a ghoul. Kill. Thank you. Alright. About your business there, Epos. How's our meals doing? We have 4. That's a little bit of a problem. We'll need power before we can start actually doing anything, I guess. Let's see. How does one get power? I guess a wind turbine will have to do. Which is pretty sucky, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Destroy both of these. And then we will put power through just the whole building. Yeah, so temporary wind turbine until we can get solar up and running. Because we are almost out of meals, so we'll need to turn some of the rice into meals, which takes power or fuel, but I already made a powered one of these, expecting our meals would last longer. So, build one of this. That should solve our issues, because then this will be able to go. And then we'll be able to do this until we have, I don't know, like, how many do we need per day? Maybe 15 will be a good number. You're still attacking this. It's just, it takes so long. But you almost got it. It's almost there. There we go. Now we'll go for the next piece. Good job. Doing the Lord's work over there. How do you botch the construction of a frickin' power line? Come on, guys. Gotta work with me here. Oh, now you start doing research, huh? Too little, too late there, Void. What are your chances looking like? 24% with Morgue. That's not bad. But we'll just let them do it naturally. You know, they'll come around at some point, I'm sure. So then this will basically be what we do for the next while, is just sit at home, cook rice, and do research. I feel like we have too much rice growing, though. But who knows? We'll wait and see. How's our wealth doing at the end there? Yeah, we just dropped the building's wealth so far down from that. We dropped our total wealth by, what, 6K almost? That's a solid amount. Yeah, how's your food doing? Your food's fine. You've almost broken another piece. Good job. Then we will also be able to throw down a wall lamp in here somewhere. And we might as well have one in here as well, just to you know, speed up the cooking process. It's already not in a kitchen, so it's gonna be pretty slow. Wait, and we don't have the common sense mod either, which means that they're not gonna be cleaning the room that they do their kitchening in, which is a problem. But you have a high enough, you know, food skill that hopefully that's not a problem at all. Kill the turkey. Yeah, your melee skill is going up nicely. Alright, and apparently turkeys are big enough that we can go back for a second eating later. Ghouls are interesting, man. I did not expect them to be this powerful. Because they could just regenerate from anything. You don't have to worry about bandaging them up or anything like that. They don't even need sleep. I'll wait for the night to pass. These guys... Oh, but the monolith is gonna be doing its thing in, like, very soon. Two, one. Boy, the monolith. Alright. There it goes. Way better than horses. I mean, are ghouls and horses, like, direct competition? Is that... Do we need psychic powers? Manhunting crow. That's not bad. Yeah, this one's a pretty decent quest. I just don't know if we need psychic powers. Because I normally use the first... I use the Psycast mod, which makes this very worthwhile. But given that we don't have that, I don't know how useful that's actually going to be, and it might just be more distracting than anything, making them have to constantly sit and meditate just to make like a friggin' solar pinhole or something. Ghouls aren't easily spooked like horses can be. That's fair, yeah. But horses can eat grass. Ghouls don't eat grass. It's for sure. Harbinger tree. That's pretty close to the base, actually. We might be able to use that for corpses. So let's, slowly expand this over, and then... Let's see. I think... like that is probably... probably close enough to how it be. Something like that. Yeah, close. Just need it. What, like this? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, you right. We could definitely have the ghoul eat a horse. He is indeed hungry enough to eat one. Where is everybody? Down here. Grabbing up all the marble. Yeah, the solar will be more consistent than the wind. Yeah, feed the Harbinger tree. Never mind, it's an eclipse, so... In that case, the solar would definitely not be any more consistent than the wind. Alright, so now the corpses are out in the open, which increases the chance we'll see them, but they are getting eaten by the harbinger trees, which is a plus. If I create a corpse stockpile, yeah, that just increases this one. That's good. Blocked by oak tree. Where? This one? It's impossible to see past that little thing there. Had to have foreknowledge that it existed. There's another one, but that's outside the range. Yeah, the issue with the wind is that it's always getting blocked by new, like, trees and stuff. And it's usually pretty weak. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to actually get rid of the wind after solar is put in place. And then I'm just going to do solar and batteries. And hopefully that'll work out well. Because we need this space for our freezer later. Okay, you need food again. I thought I heard like a rabbit or something in this area. It's hard to see. Let's just find one through here. That's too far away. There it is. Go kill it. Murder. Rip and tear. Alright. And now this is the only thing that's left of this, which we don't really want to destroy that. Not only because it explodes, but because that also starts that quest line, and we don't really need to do that yet. So we gotta find something else for you to do. And I guess we don't need you doing anything in particular. We can just let you wander until an attack comes, and then we'll loose you on the enemy. Alright, Void, how are social things doing? 29%. I'll just keep letting that improve. Because, yeah, they would be at, like, 100% chance of romance by now if there wasn't 3 rebuffed and 2 failed the romances. Oh. You picked the wrong house, fool. Like, what? The Sight Stealer's coming out to try to fight Ebos over here. Alright. Good job, Ebos. You just keep being the distraction for all the Sight Stealers. Man, you didn't even take any damage. It's not that you regenerated any, like, the damage you took. You just did not get hurt at all. That's crazy. Let's start cutting blocks. I think we start with that technology, right? Yeah. Because we're overpowered. Need anomaly project, right. Because that's toggled to be studied. We'll start with entity containment, I guess. What are you doing out here? You're just going for a walk? Oh, I never built recreation stuff. Not that this stuff will help a ton. Very simple, but mayhaps it will help in some way. We'll just build this out in the middle of the floor because we can move it later. And we'll set some more wood to be woodified. So we can build another room. Because I want all this stuff out of this room to improve its impressiveness. Did you do something? I mean, you just defended yourself. I don't think it's against your principles to kill a Sight Stealer. Which are like little invisible versions of you that show up and try to kill people. And it just kind of appeared out of the shadows and started attacking you, and you beat the crap out of him. And now you have eaten him. Oh, we're on 1 speed. I don't know why. I didn't even notice for a while there. I get a bit distracted. Kind of on autopilot with Rimworld. Probably why I tend to not be good at streaming it, because it just ends up sending me too much into autopilot mode, but it's fine. I think maybe 15 is too many. Let's bring that down to 10. How is your construction doing? Oh, your construction's actually doing real nice now. Same as yours. Let's build a door here. Oh yeah, and I was gonna put walls, stone walls on that. So we have slate and marble around here. Might just make our whole immediate base out of marble and just make slate walls around the whole base if we're gonna fully enclose it at some point. Which we probably will. Just make like to 100 marble blocks. But yeah, I so far... Not like it's Elden Ring, true. So far, I have about 2,200 hours in this game, specifically, because it has that effect where you go into that kind of trance and you just forget what you're doing. And then suddenly you realize, oh look, it's the end of the day and I haven't eaten anything all day. How did that happen? They're doing a lot of hauling. We need more space in here for more items. You know, if you guys could start, you know, doing the blocks, that would be good. Although we do have a lot, actually, that's why they're not doing the blocks, is because we already got so much marble, I kind of forgot we did that. So yeah, let's just make a new room. Although this room doesn't even need to be made out of marble. Let's actually, I think we have a lot of limestone. Let's make this room out of limestone. Because it doesn't need to be an impressive room. And then... There we go. We can just make some path through it. And that's good. Good for losing weight. I mean, fair. Yeah, if you're too busy playing games to eat, then you'll probably lose weight. Though that's only if you do exercise occasionally, at least. Because if you don't exercise at all, then you're not going to lose any weight because you don't have any metabolism. But, you know. It is always the thing that I find interesting, is that a lot of people do a lot of cardio, but they never do, like, the strength training that would, you know, much more help improve their overall active metabolism. I don't know where we're going to put our batteries. Ooh, we also want to put... Hey, Abos, how you doing food-wise? Oh, you're fine. You just ate some food. Good. We want... What do we want? We want a dresser. That's what we want. Put a dresser down. That'll improve our comfort in here a bit. Do I go to the gym? I do not go to the gym because that would take social interaction, but I do have... I have a 8-pound dumbbell over on my table. I have a 30-pound dumbbell on the floor, and I have my own body weight, which you can do a lot of exercises with. So That's usually what I do. I did remember to exercise last night, which is good. I usually, preferably would be doing it every day, but I tend to forget. But I try to do like 30, or no, not 30. You do 10 reps with the 30-pound, and then 20 reps with the 8-pound, and then 40 squats and 5 crunches is usually what I... New lovers. Finally. I just had to talk about being, trying to get fit. And then finally Void and Morg, which is kind of funny because Void and Morg are, married in real life as, streamer friends. So that kind of worked out. But that's good. And now did it automatically assign them a bed? It did not. Let's put them both in this bed because it's good. ID Legend forbids. It is always the weird thing, is even when they're lovers, they're not allowed to share a bed. But I guess since it's spouse only, we need to wait for the marriage before they can do that. So that's sad. But at least they're together. And then they're going to get married at some juncture, which will be great for us. And then we can have babies. And then we can actually have more colonists because, once again, I am just really bad at recruiting. Okay, but since this room is now done, we're going to expand this into here and then shrink it out of here. Which is going to make the game freak out and be like, oh no, you have no resources because now none of this is in storage, but that's fine. We're also probably going to make a bunch of these if we can. I don't know what like setup we want for these. We can have just 3 of those. Probably just want like solid layers of these because I want to maximize our storage, and we can just kind of trudge through these to get over to the edge. Although if we, I don't know, if we moved them away from the edge, then we could get all the way around them, and that might be more efficient. If we did like this, that kind of thing, perhaps that would be a better option. And let's see if we did that, that. No, it would be, we'd end up at the wall. Okay, well, we'll deal with that later. This amount of storage is probably enough for now. Just get hung up on the tiny little saplings. You can't put roofs over because they count as trees. Alright, good. Where's Zabos? There's Zabos. Well fed, eating all that twisted meat. It's good stuff. Okay. Everything is going swimmingly so far. We're now doing some, let's just hold this open for now, because people are going back and forth through here very often. Everything's going great, honestly. I am surprised that we're not dead yet. I kind of expected without any of my mods, I would be completely, vulnerable to enemy attack and we'd just die instantaneously. But so far, Ebos has kind of just carried us through the early stage of the game. Alright, and then we need batteries, which can probably go down here somewhere. So I don't think batteries are all that attractive to look at, but that's fine. We'll just build like 4 of them down here. And that means we can get rid of this, because we'll have more than enough power generation off these 2, methinks. And then we won't have to keep getting rid of a bunch of trees in this area, which will be nice. Still not raids? Still no raids, yeah. It only sends one negative event every so often, so all of those negative events have been getting filled up by, like, the Sight Stealer that we killed. That was a negative event. The Flash Storm over here was a negative event. So we've been getting a lot of pretty harmless negative events lately that haven't been raids, so it's kind of a plus. You're needing food. Let's find you a small thing. There's a rat right here. Go eat him. Kill. Consume. Very good. Alright. I think there's a mod that lets ghouls hunt automatically, but once again, no mods. We can't be doing that. I need to get good at playing the base game. Because I got way too over-reliant on some of the mods that I was using, and it was not good. But this time we will do well, hopefully. And maybe we'll actually finish the game. I've never beaten Rimworld before. It's a long and arduous task to do so, but I'm hoping that we'll get to at least one of the endings in this. You know, maybe the anomaly ending, maybe the mech hive ending. Probably not royalty ending, but maybe. And then there's the Arconexus, which I looked into a bit, and it does not look easy. It looks like that's the hardest one of them all, because you need to build up like 3 successful bases in a row, and each time you lose a bunch of progress every time you reset it. So, oh, more Harbinger trees. Ah, because we fed these enough, this one popped in. So, bigger stockpile for more corpse laying. So that's good. I don't think we should have you kill a rhinoceros. I think you would probably die. How about a tortoise? I bet you could beat a tortoise. They have good armor, but you know. Evidently not good combat skill, because that thing barely hit us at all. What the heck is a plastron? Who knows? Alright. Well, good job, Ibos. Doing the Lord's work over here. Killing tortoises. But yeah, we're into the research phase of the game, so... Yeah, and we had too many meals sitting in reserve. These ones are fine, though. And honestly, our food is not doing bad, so... All is well. And now we just wait. Because, yeah, we're getting sterile materials, then we'll go for microelectronics, so that we can start getting, like, trade ships and stuff. And then, who knows? Past that, we have a lot of things to get. We'll probably want to get good gun smithing, which we might actually want to focus on right now. I mean, sterile materials are important, but only one of us has a gun so far, and that'll only take us so far. We're down to only 20k. That's good. Because I don't know how tough the raids are going to be once those start coming in. But probably won't be as easy as things have been so far. Ebos, can you get closer to base? I like you to be on guard over here. How many people can you get out of these 3 humans? I don't know in which way you mean. Like, how many colonists can I get out of them? In that way, it would be practically infinite, because I don't think there's any limit to how many babies you can have. But if you mean people as in, like, raiders, it's not really, sadly, it's not really based on how many colonists you have. It's kind of just based on your wealth alone. And so at this level of wealth, I'd say we'd probably get like 1 to 3 raiders at a time. But even if we stuck with 3 people and like doubled or tripled our wealth, we could end up with like 6 or 8 enemies coming in, which would pretty much double our current colonist count with opponents, which is not always fair, but that's why we have a ghoul. Alright, we might need the 3rd research bench in here, just to have something for everyone to do. Yeah, 1 to 3 should be no issue, because Morg can just sit in the back shotgunning them while Ebos gets in there and beats the crap out of them. It should be alright. Yeah, these batteries are doing pretty well, looks like. Yeah, the ghoul is effectively immortal. As long as we keep him fed, he should never really change. And even if the ghoul dies in combat, I don't know if we have access to see it right now. Ghoul infusion. Ghoul enhancement. Ghoul resurrection. There it is. Eventually we'll be able to make ghoul resurrection serum, which takes twisted meat and bioferrite, which we should have plenty of later in the game. And that makes a serum that we can then inject into you that'll just bring you back to life. So yeah, ghouls are essentially immortal, and we're gonna want a few of them, I would say, and you can get different upgrades for them, like ghoul plating, reduces incoming damage even more, which you're already tough, but this would make that even stronger. Though I don't know if we'd want to, because that also reduces your movement speed very seriously, but we'll see. I know you can also give ghouls bionics, so honestly, we might give you like double bionic legs to move faster, and then give you the ghoul plating, and that'll kind of negate the moving faster, but makes you super durable. So we got some cool stuff coming your way later on. You're gonna be some sort of like melee Giga Chad by the end of this. And of course you have the infinite regeneration right here that just makes you never be able to die to anything that, you know, things can still kill you, but anything short of killing you will not kill you. Which sounds obvious, but you get what I mean. You can't bleed out, you just heal. Yeah, you need food, though. You're getting a little hangry. I always just try to look around, because that seems easier at the time, but it never is. Go kill the bunny. We're gonna start needing to fight larger game, because a lot of the smaller animals have gotten killed by Ebos and the other, you know, flesh-eating creatures around like this. Yeah, I mean, we could definitely... You can definitely send ghouls out. I don't think you're allowed to... Oh. Oh, yeah. A ghoul thing. Right. What did that say? Did that say we can capture it? Ravenous hostile ghoul is landed nearby. The ghoul is currently in shock, but it will soon recover and attack anyone it sees. It can be captured to a holding platform for further study. I mean, having study would be nice. But we don't have a holding platform for it. How long is it going to be out? 4 hours. Hoo boy. Okay. That means we need a holding platform area, because I know we start with a platform, but we need a spot that's going to be able to hold said platform. And we do not have one of those set up. I guess we could just put it in here. I don't think ghouls need that much containment strength, and at least this place has sturdy walls. So somebody go put that there and we'll see. Ghoul mate. Yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to tame the ghoul, but we'll see. Let's see. Containment strength 14 with the door open. 35. What is the containment strength you need? Is there a way to check that? Oh, minimum containment strength 35. Is that? I think that's exact. Yeah, that's exactly what this has. We have the exact minimum. I don't think that's going to be a good thing. We might need to build a new room for it. I don't know if we'll be able to do that in 4 hours before it wakes up. We might just need to kill it and capture something else. But maybe not. You know, maybe we can get it. Because we could make like a actually secure room over here. If we really wanted to. Let's see, because we still have plenty of limestone. If we made a room like this. 163. And then reinstalled this like over here. We could have a couple of these in here. And maybe this room would be better because it's more compact, has more limestone wall coverage, and has a better door. But I don't know if we'd be able to do that within time. And honestly, I don't know if I'd want to rush to having these things in it. Are you able to capture it? No, you were able to attack. Okay. That's not helpful. Thank you, Epos. Go and try to capture it. We have something that has the minimum containment strength. Epos gets to romance too. I mean, they're much older than you. But, you know, if that's what you're into... But yeah, let's see what their breakout, you know, interval will be being locked in here. And do we have to feed the ghoul if it's in containment? Hopefully not. I don't think you'd have to. But we'll see. I've never captured a ghoul before. There we go. I mean, it does still have a food requirement, but escape interval never. Oh, because it's still psychically shocked. Okay. Oh, wait, it's a genie ghoul. That means it's a wimp and delicate and depressive, apparently. It's a very sad ghoul. So yeah, this thing sucks. It's not gonna be a very good ghoul for sure. Let's wait for this to run out and see what its escape interval will be. Oh, our first raid. Nice. Okay, we have a pig person with an auto pistol, which is actually amazing for us. Oh, and venom fangs. That's a weird thing to have, but all right. Are they attacking immediately? No, they'll prepare a while. Okay. Yeah, I don't think you can just cheer up depressive pawns. They're just sad. Alright, but we know the drill. You know, we send Ebos in, beat him up. Morg will be there as backup to shoot, and life will be good. See, 2 years escape interval. That's not bad. Not bad at all. We'll want to transfer you to a better holding cell eventually, but for now, you should be fine. We have time to work with. And how good is the research on you? Pretty decent, but kind of slow. Oh, if we get a shard, we can also use a shard inhibitor. I think we actually started with a shard. Oh, but we can't make one of those yet. We need more research. Yeah. But this will be very useful. That's a 20 containment offset. Alright, are you done just hanging around over here? You have a flak vest, which will make you a little hard to kill, but I'm sure we'll do fine. Okay. So here's the plan. You go here, you go over here. So we'll hide in these ruins, and as they walk past, then we jump out and attack them. Catch up faster, Ebos. Why are you firing at her? Okay, good. Keep them in melee and shoot. Perfect. Amazing. You have great aim. What the heck? Okay, never mind. You missed. You suck. Yeah, this thing's durable. But they're doing like no damage to you because they don't even have a melee weapon. They're just hitting you with the butt of the pistol. Alright. Well, perfect. You took almost no damage. This person got kind of beat the heck up. But of course, they have not good traits, so we don't want them anyway. You can strip them to get their gear. And then we kind of want you to equip that, and you can kill them. Why are you just running away? You probably hauled things. Die already so we can eat you. There we go. Consume. Get the taste of human flesh. I'm sure that won't have any negative side effects later. Alright. You know, there was a couple hiccups there, but we did fine. And you're just kind of here. That'll be great, and we'll put a shard inhibitor whenever we get some more research done. Very good. And now we have an auto pistol, which is great for you because you need to level up your shooting skill significantly. Should I send you out to improve your shooting skill, or should I just wait? Because the issue is if we send them out to go and hunt and increase their shooting skill, that also would increase our wealth, because we'd then have a bunch of things to butcher. And it's usually not a good thing. But who's to say? Oh, you're right, this is the 3-hour mark. Once again, Rimworld, it sneaks up on you. Because you don't even notice you've been sitting here for, well, 2 hours, technically, playing this. Because one of the hours was just spent, you know, making the characters and everything. But It's fine. Marriage is on. Very nice, very nice. Because then they'll be able to go into one bed, which will be good. Because then we'll only be using one, you know, one half of the beds that many people would be normally using. It's very space efficient. And if we can just pair up all of our colonists, you know, then that would be great. Time flies when having fun, that is true. And I don't know what it is about Rimworld that just makes it so just so addicting. You don't even notice. But yeah, eventually we'll get up to pulse charged munitions and start making some charge rifles. That's where we want to be. If we can get all three of us with charge rifles, plus a ghoul or two, then we'll be in a very good position. And if we can find a hussar or some such like that and turn them into another ghoul, that would be pretty nice. Because, I mean, Evos here is a very good ghoul naturally because they have tough, but not everyone we find is going to have tough. If there's some enemies that come in with tough and we've got enough research to start making ghouls, that would be a good thing to go for. So yeah, it looks like it takes a shard. Yeah. Interesting. Looks like all it takes is just a shard and maybe some medicine, and then you can turn a person into a ghoul. So that'll be fun. That'll be a good time. I think we need extraction, and then this. And then, of course, we'll need more shards, because right now we only have one. Yeah, the batteries are lasting very much long enough with the number of things we have currently powered by it. Eventually we'll need more, though. How's our wealth doing? Pretty decent. Could be lower. And let's get a bookcase down as well, just so we can put our books somewhere. Go and eat the meat. Yeah, we wouldn't want Ebos getting upset at the colony. That would be very bad for us. Oh yeah, and your fed meter doesn't go down when you're in containment, so that's nice. Yeah, I like how they go out cloud watching when I have, you know, recreation built indoors. There's like, nah, we're just gonna go and look at the sky for a bit. Why'd you put on the flak vest? Like, you don't need the flak vest on right now. It doesn't really help with anything. I guess it doesn't really matter, and it does lower the wealth of it, because as long as they're wearing it, it'll, you know, get worse, and then that'll lower its wealth. And right now, lowering wealth is pretty much all we need to do while we level up our research, which will take a while. Some of our people were not so good at it. Boyd is pretty much the only good researcher we've got. But that's fine. I mean, he has great memory. He could probably get up to like 20 intellectual if we just keep him researching eternally. Usually it's pretty hard to get all the way up to 20 unless you have some sort of memory thing. A quiet rat, huh? Oh, let's set our preferences here to not accept goodwill for anyone. And we're not even going to go for honor because we don't need it. We might accept goodwill from the Orbital Guild, though. And who's our closest neighbor? I think it would be these guys. So our little ritual thing will probably keep the Empire our ally eternally, which will be pretty useful, I think. I think we can call in reinforcements and stuff from the Empire. We just won't be able to trade with them very efficiently, which will suck. But this won't be our, like, permanent base location anyway. We're just here long enough to, you know, do, like, half the game. Eventually we're gonna go on to our grav ship and start traveling the world on that. But first we need to get a good, strong population going. Mad Gazelle. Perfect timing. Ebos needed some food. Go, Ebos. Rip and tear. That gazelle has got nothing on you. How's your... Oh, your fighting skill is going up nicely. World is bigger than the loneliest tile? I mean, yeah. We only generated half of a planet, and this is the whole place, with each tile being that. So, there's thousands and thousands of tiles all over this whole world here, and you can make caravans to go and, like, visit other towns and stuff. Or, eventually, we're gonna make a grav ship, which will just be able to fly in the low atmosphere all over the place. And then if we're really ambitious, you can go out to... you know, out here, and there's going to be a bunch of asteroids with, like, gold and compacted plasteel and plasteel and plasteel and machinery and uranium, you know, so you can mine asteroids. You could go to these places, but I think that they shoot you, so it's not really great. But yeah, you can definitely lose hours in this game. Like, you can go around and destroy all the pirate bases, I believe. So if you, like, go and raid all of these bases and just kill everyone there, I think you can destroy the enemy bases and eventually liberate the world from them. And... What are you doing just standing there? It's kind of creepy. But there's also... I don't know if we've unlocked the quest yet, but eventually we'll get a Ship to the Stars quest, which should spawn a ship, like, way down here or something, really far away from our base, and that will be one of the endings, is you're supposed to go there and defend the ship until it can launch. And that takes you off-world, and then you win. But there's several endings to the game, and I'm hoping to get to at least one of them, but we'll see how it goes. How's our favorite enemy ghoul doing? Pretty good. I think they can be studied again. Who's on Dark Study? Void is. 2 hours for that. It doesn't say this has an interval. Can we study it? 0.4 hours, okay. It's on the holding platform that it says the study timer. So Void will go study them eventually. And then they'll study this. And we'll get much research. Life will be good. And at a certain point, we should expand and build more rooms around here. It's just not really necessary right now. Oh, one thing we can probably do is we can set that to attempt to have babies. And win all the endings yet? No. I have not won any endings in this game after 2,000 hours. Most of my games don't go that long because in theory this is like an infinite sandbox game. So it's kind of like Minecraft. You could just ignore the progression and survive forever doing whatever you want. And that's usually what I end up doing. So I've never actually gone for any of the endings legitimately because I usually don't get powerful enough and late game enough to be able to go comfortably for any of the endings. But we'll see. We'll see. So if I do end up getting any endings this time, it will be the first time I ever achieve that ending in my entire tenure at Rimworld Academy. So that will be pretty exciting. Yeah, and I definitely like the early game portions of it. It's a lot more fun because as you can see, things certainly get a lot slower and quieter now that we've gotten set up. I mean, we get the occasional raid, the occasional storm and everything, but now that we have, you know, consistent power and our base is secure, and this place has one unroofed, and I don't know why that is. I guess it's just this middle spot is just far enough away from walls that it can't, you know, be roofed. But that's not really an issue. We'll just not place something there, and then we're gonna put our thingamawhatsit there for the orbital trading eventually. So yeah, some later parts of the game get a bit monotonous until you've gotten strong enough to be able to go and actually do other things, which for us will probably only take having more people, you know? Which is why we want the try for baby thing, so that we can have babies and then we can have more colonists, and then we'd be able to afford to send like half of them out to go and check out like a quest away from our base while the other half stays here and is safe. All right, psychic soothe, that's nice. Yeah, the beginning's always most interesting because you're like planning the base and having to figure out where you're going to get food from and how to survive. After a while, you just kind of get complacent. All right, you go attack the Wolverine. I'm sure it'll go fine. You know, now I'm kind of wondering if I had kept all my crazy mods, how good a ghoul would be if I gave them like Architect power arms and everything, and just made them absolutely invulnerable. It would be completely unnecessary to do that because normal pawns are already strong enough with those improvements that it would be kind of a waste to put him on a ghoul, but we'll see. Alright, so right now we're getting machining, and then gunsmithing, and then blowback operation, and then gas operation, and then we'll need microelectronics, and then precision rifling, and that will get us assault rifles, which are generally considered to be like the best early to mid game weapon for general purposes. And then we'll probably just stick with those all the way up until we hit the pulse rifles or charge rifles or whatever they're called. until then, who knows what we're gonna be doing. Oh, there's the anima tree. Not that we need it. Alright, there's machining. Gunsmithing. Yeah, we could make chairs for these guys. We might want to do that. So when are these guys going to be having their marriage? You know, it said a while ago marriage is on, but it's kind of random when they decide to actually carry that out. Because right now they're just like engaged. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get married at all anytime soon. But someday they will. Yeah, now their opinion of each other is just maxed out. It's very nice. Eat some meat, Ebos. You need to keep strong. Never know when another sight stealer is gonna appear and obliterate us again. Alright, our dark study is also being kept up on. That's almost done. Very good. It does feel weird playing without any mods, because like I don't have the camera plus mod, so I can't zoom any further in or further out like I used to be able to. We're also going to need to start manufacturing clothing at some point, because our gear right now is starting to wither away. Which is always the worst part. It's usually why I go for nudist colonies, because then you don't have to worry at all about clothing. Medicine. Like regular medicine? It's expensive, though. We don't even have... I mean, I guess we have a lot of it. And it would reduce our, you know, wealth a bit. And usually by the late game, I'm just using herbal medicine anyway. So, why not? Get out of here, kid. Alright, and this just got replanted, kinda. So I kind of want to shrink this, because we're building up a lot of food. But we will reuse some of this space for heal root. So we can start doing that. Because we will need a lot of medicine, I'm sure. Although maybe not that much. Because Ebos will, you know, absorb a lot of the injuries. Speaking of Ebos, you need more food. Kill the raccoon. Alright, good. And he's gathering intel on the anomaly research. There we go. Next, we can do this. And additionally, I want to put down one of these. I don't know if I can move it after. I would assume so. It's a very small thing. I assume you could just pick it up and move it around. Yeah, okay. Good, because now this has 55 containment strength, which means that you are now at 2.8 years before you try to escape. Very nice. Gunsmithing, blowback operation. They all just do some synchronized eating. We could try to get this thing set up. I don't know if we have enough of the metal and stuff like that. what we should do... Mainly we need components, but that'll be from... What do you call them? Traders, probably. So here's the plan. We're gonna make marble. There we go. So we're gonna make our little place here. And we could replace all this with marble as well while we're making this. Probably be smart. They're really bad at replacing things, but I'm sure they'll be able to do this by the end of the day, so... Because, you know, they're efficient builders. Because we have 2 of them, so it's really all that it takes to be efficient is just numbers. Of course, Morg is slacking off, sleeping all day. What the heck, Morg? Get with the program here. Alright, good. So now that's all replaced. And, you know, fun fact about stone blocks is that they do not catch on fire. So, we don't have to worry about this room or this room getting caught on fire from the outside. Like vultures destroy pathogens in the digestive system. That does sound very nice. Although wouldn't... I mean, I guess it depends on the pathogen. But I would think most foreign things would get killed in most stomachs. But vultures are very cool. Any scavengers are have very robust digestive systems. Now, where's something Evos can eat? I don't know. Just go kill some deer. Consume. Alright, good. Now this is done, so we can move you into here. And... oh, great. Solar flare. You see why I normally turn solar flare off? Very annoying. Heat wave, huh? I don't think that's worth it. I don't think any of this is worth it. I mean, a shard shock lance would be kind of nice. Shorter range, requires line of sight. But heat waves can kind of suck, and we don't have any stuff set up yet for that. So we'll just say no. But I want to make one of these in here. Let's also just fully surround that in power lines, because this is going to be a very power-hungry room. We want plenty of access to energy in here. Insufficient containment. Oh, because they're holding this door open. Can you stop holding the door open? Bruh. Everyone just stands right there, just like, oh yes, this is a great time. Alright, get all the slag, so this thing can pay for itself metal-wise. And you know, normally I wouldn't make a smelter this early, but we have a lot of slag to work with, and we also have nobody that's good at mining. So smelting the slag down is going to be pretty much our only effective way of getting metal in this predicament. Okay, and we'll just leave this as dirt floors because who cares, you know? Anything else we want in here? I mean, we'll need a machining table eventually, I think. Because I believe that's where we make our assault rifles. Might as well get that set up as well. Because our power system should be alright. Oh. Just those two? Also, I just realized when I glanced down here, there's a lot more steel just at the edge of the map. Why? Alright, Ebos. You got more work to do. Go get them. I think you can kill 2 porcupines, right? Oh yeah, but the quills need to be surgically removed. I don't know, how is that going to work with regeneration? Are those going to remove themselves? Now kill them all, so we can see if you can eat them. You can eat that one. Alright, because yeah, you got scars, you got quills in you. Porcupines are no joke, but hopefully your regeneration will just pop those quills right out. I'm not sure if it will, but we'll see. I know the scar will be taken away pretty effectively. Alright, it looks like it is not healing the quills. Although the quills... I think they only... Do they only affect pain? You can't feel pain. So, do they actually do anything? I don't think so. How do we get them out? Remove porcupine quills. Might be good. Let's see. Can we just have a bed over here for medical? Ebos. Why are you... You're taking Ebos to the medical bed to get the porcupine quills out. Ebos is like that... Just like a freaking dog that got in a fight with a porcupine and now needs to be nursed back to health. This is gonna take medicine. Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, it seems like they just pull them out manually, which makes sense. All right, good as new. Perfect. They care, of course they care. You're our, you know, our pet ghoul. You know, we can't have you with porcupine quills all up in your face. That would just be, you know, neglectful of us. All right, let's put the kibosh on that. Additionally, we need to install this back up here. And now they're butchering the other porcupine. And if we're not going to be using this right now, we can turn it off. But we did get a good amount of metal out of it. And we have it in our back pocket in case we need more metal, which is always good. Because once again, we can't really mine for it. Oh yes, we have these things to do. We'll do that in a minute. Once everyone's awake. Yes, I think I'm going to be ending stream pretty soon as well. So, you have a good afternoon and night, Ebos. And I will be seeing you later. And you'll be right here in the game all the time. So that's always good. Alright, there's Ship to the Stars. Alright, start working on Ghoul Infusion. I want to be able to do that. Alright, once you've eaten a meal, then we can hopefully do one of these. Ah. Okay. Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of these things. We need a lectern, pews, possibly, maybe an altar. It's probably fine. You're not as exciting as a drum party, I must say. You know, it's less expensive than a drum party. We just talk at a table. It's a lot cheaper. Yeah, and Ship to the Stars is all the way up here. Oh, it was boring. Oh, but we got development points just for doing it, even though it was bad. That's kind of interesting. Let's see. What can we make out of this so far? We can make guns. But not the best guns, so we'll wait on that. I hope we get some traders soon. Because so far, we haven't gotten really any traders at all, and we could use some more components. I mean, we still have 20, but those will run out quick. Yeah, I'll need to end stream pretty soon, mainly because my voice is getting a little beat up. I haven't streamed in a while, and doing a 3.5-hour stream of just talking constantly after not really being around anyone or talking to anyone for an extended period of time certainly takes its toll on your voice. I need to get back into streaming consistently to train my voice back up so it can actually last a decent amount of time again. Because, I mean, back in the day, I used to stream a lot more and a lot more frequently, and that certainly, it helped train my voice up very well. I could talk for, I think, up to like 6 hours. It'd start hurting maybe around 5 hours. But alright, I mean, honestly, this is going surprisingly well. We'll replace the rest of the walls with marble eventually. Maybe add some more rooms on. Probably some containment rooms, maybe off to this side. Just kind of put little containment cells over here. Maybe we should put like an actual, like have this maybe be a prison for human enemies, and then have all our containment cells over on the same side, because then it's kind of squared away. And we'll be able to enclose the monolith, because we don't know what it's getting up to. It can't be free. Alright, Nebos is fed. We should also set up this thing. Has someone turned this off yet? We don't really need it. It takes up a lot of power. That's why our batteries are struggling a little bit. We could also just add more of these, but no thank you. Well, we'll get to that eventually. Just botching every other thing. I mean, yeah, your plants are not very good. I appreciate the aid, but it is not very helpful. We need another plants person. We'll see what the kid eventually, once we have a kid, what they're good at. That should be good. And I don't think either of these two have any bad traits. Yeah, they actually have some pretty good traits. I mean, you're a cannibal, but I don't think that... Yeah, you don't have anything saying, oh, I'm sad because I haven't eaten any cannibal stuff lately. Oh, and this does increase mental break threshold, but even so, It's not bad. So yeah, you pretty much both have all good traits, so the kid should also inherit good traits, right? I think. I don't know how base game inheritance works. I usually have mods that change how, you know, genetics and child rearing works. But not today. I think it's the first time I've ever used just like purely base game biotech to have kids. Alright, porcupine meat is gone. So you're gonna need to go kill this bird. Wow, okay, good job. that was fast. I mean, I guess if there's a sleeping blue bird on the ground, it would be rather easy just to punch it in the face and eat it. But alright. We'll, I guess we'll call it a day there. Oh yeah, we're doing the no saving thing, the commitment mode, that's what it's called. So yeah. Good stuff. I'm a little... I mean, I know it's on 100% threat scale, so it's not going to be all that hard, really. But I'm still a bit flabbergasted that things have been going as swimmingly as they have. And hopefully I'll be able to get some good colonists going. As I said, probably won't be able to recruit. I usually have really bad luck with that, which is weird, because back in the day, when original Rimworld was a thing, I used to be really good at recruiting everybody. Like, you would get a lot of new recruits. I think it might have been because there were less negative traits. And so most of the people that came in, as long as they didn't have one of the few original Rimworld negative traits that were like deal breakers, you would just be able to recruit anyone. But nowadays it's like everyone has a bunch of scars and they're all super old and have a bunch of bad traits all over the place. It's very hard to find a good pawn, especially because, you know, if you don't want certain xenotypes because they have some major drawbacks, like, you know, because I don't have any drugs in any of my colonies. I can't have any wasters, I can't have any hussars, I can't have... Who else needs drugs? Might just be those two. But I usually can't have genies either because they're all very wimpy. So, and you can't have high mates because they can't do combat, so, you know, they're just kind of useless when it comes to their threat point, their raid point calculations. That's no good. I wonder if they count for less, though. If it, like, takes into account that they're incapable of violence, so it doesn't count them in towards the raid points. I don't know. But either way, it is difficult nowadays to actually recruit people that you just randomly find, but having kids definitely makes for easy new colonists coming in, which is quite nice. So we'll see how that goes. So I will see you guys next time, which will hopefully be tomorrow/soon. And yeah, see you guys then. Goodbye.